absolutely not trust the trailer.
Now. Let me
See
see
his
these models real quick. And he's gone.
Do you have to pay for him, or can you earn him?
We don't know yet. They just came out with the trailer for who's getting what skins.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't trust them.
And they're probably like $30 skin for 1 times 3.
How much was the Le Seraphim stuff?
It wasn't like $10.
Two of my favorite DPS players are getting skins, Bob. I'm an Ash and Sombra main, man.
What's this?
What's this? Do you play this game? Did you uninstall this game?
Oh, a while ago. But I downloaded it.
That way.
Anti-fragile Dazzle Diva.
Look,
damn.
Bob,
Okay.
I've been having the urge for a shooter that isn't Apex. And Overwatch is
that's what Helldivers is for.
Scratching that itch.
That's what Helldivers is for.
You gonna side with the automatons of
Still
the
a shooter.
Overlord Corporation?
He didn't specify.
True.
Democracy.
Besides, we're getting mechs in Helldivers.
Isn't that
Mega
being
democracy
kept behind a particular planet or what?
We have to go liberate the planet. Are you ready, Helldiver?
Is that you like getting on and we're doing this right now?
No, I'm doing something else in another. I hate myself. It's true. Actually, no.
I might download it. Is it?
Do tell.
It's not.
Not idle.
It is not idle and it's not free to play, so do not get it.
Why does it cost money to pay for idle?
Like that's ever stopped me before.
Maestro doing a challenge rather than a warning.
Look. I tried so hard for IU. After that, nothing scares me anymore.
You lie to yourself like that.
Well, finally upgraded my YouTube demonetization dragon weapon.
Huh?
Think a little bit about the name. YouTube monetization dragon.
I still don't know.
I
know I'm not going to spend too much energy worrying about it.
That's fair. Yes.
He live?
He is live.
Yes, we're alive. Trouble.
We are very live.
Yes, it's safe for stream. It's near Gigante.
Near Gigante, yes. Because the name is too similar to other things.
And YouTube's auto finder. Yeah, YouTube has a very bad auto pickup.
Congratulations. Now demonetized.
I need to put in some time off soon. What? I'm not, but I need to put in for some time off. Yes. Because no,
I will be gone in about 2 more days.
No, what's it called? Dragon's Dogma comes out this month, and I want to spend like 3 or 4 days. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, man. Because look, I deal with money. You deal with the money. It's the same thing. You have a desk. I have a desk.
Depends.
Yeah,
Are
but
you a loan officer or a bank teller? Because being a bank teller sucks.
I'm a officer.
Yeah.
Which means I don't technically go off of bank hours. We work later than the banks are open most of the time, but
Oh, with your bank. None of the banks at my, none of the officers at my bank did that.
Well, because I don't work at any of the actual branches, I work off of offshore location. Yeah.
Actually sounds like it'd be fun.
Offshore.
This is incredible lore we got right here.
But Cad, I mean, it's the same thing. I have a desk. You have a desk. I deal with money. You deal with money. No. I still deal with state laws and everything when I have to put stuff in for loans.
Our money.
Just our money.
Yeah. See, we're a lot more have a lot more in common than you think. Yeah, but I deal in the millions of dollars, you deal in the millions, like it's fine. Oh well.
Don't
If
you
I-
gotta triple
So,
backflip the government if you go deal?
When I'm dealing with property, no.
Only millions? Are we talking like millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions?
Get real.
A
Like-
million?
Like 900 acres of land, yeah.
This
So,
doesn't
Texan
actually-
millions?
900 only 900?
I mean,
Deals
that's the
in land,
biggest
not
that
in
I've
money.
been given.
Hello there. How's it going, guys? Yeah, sorry, it's one-sided conversation, but it was me talking with AP and him trying to say that that he does the same job as me, which is just a total lie. Anyways, how's everybody doing today? Hello, Wood. Give me 1 second here. I gotta set up lay tweet. Apparently, the Dragon's Dogma character creator is available today. All right. There we go. Tweet is live. Do me a favor. Go give it some love. Let me grab you guys today's artwork. Which I suddenly seem to have misplaced. What do I do with it? It wasn't that one. Wasn't that one. Nor that one. What did I do with it? Ah, there it is. God, I'm sorry, chat. Could not remember which tab I pulled it from. Okay. Yeah, Caldibo's collection, aka Cock and Ball Crushing. Alrighty, let's get this party started. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Here is today's artwork. It is a fantastic piece. It will post. There we go. Make sure you go give the artist some love. But again, how is everybody doing today? Elo, thank you for the 40 years. Appreciate it. Hirsch, thank you for the 44. I'm a fellow old man to be. Trust me, you're not old. Because I'm not old. Arch, thank you for the 25. And then I think I said it to Suki yesterday, but thank you for the 25 for them as well. How's it going? Lasengle clowning on themselves again. Yeah, Trump's talked about it quite a bit. I unfortunately was not there to hear a lot of his translation of the actual video, so you guys might be able to fill me in. But we are going to react to a site that Trubs tipped me off to that it exists, and I'm going to go through that and talk with you guys about it. Hello, Mr. Streamer. Hello, Gubbin. You're all whippersnappers? Exactly. I rolled daily disappointments for CE and finally NP5'd Betty. Congratulations. My daughter is 30, so yo, be single. No, I'm just kidding. Very nice Artoria art today. Thank you. I appreciate it. But again, as always, go thank the actual artist, since I'm not the one that drew it. Yeah, I mean, today's a pretty chill day. We do have Road to 7 tonight. I'm probably not covering that. I already told you guys. The reason is because it is literally just translated version of the JP stream. If you guys want to watch it, you're perfectly welcome to. It's at least interesting, especially if you guys need a refresher or haven't read the actual event. But again, it's nothing new to I said read the actual event, read the actual chapter. For those of us that have actually played through it, though, it's nothing new, and it's just kind of a recap. And so as a result, because there's no news coming from it, I'm just going to say we don't really need to cover them, and it's fine. Final Fantasy night? Yes, we're gonna be playing some Final Fantasy. Not like the Carl suffering stream. Yeah, thank God, right? It should be a much shorter affair. I don't remember how long the actual things were. I believe it was like a half hour and stuff when it was a thing on JP. What is this? This is my 90 plus. I probably need bronze for this, so we will continue to run that. I think this is the comp I had that worked. I'm going to reorder it some just so that it's actually in sequence for me. But otherwise, we should be good. No, I don't want to watch it. Don't make us. I won't. like all, and that's all I'm saying is like, if you guys want to watch it, you're more than welcome to, but please don't expect me to cover it. Only because to me, it's a colossal waste of my time on stream with you guys. And as a result, I'd rather just do whatever. If you guys want to react to it or something here in chat, you're more than welcome to. Is the news another recap for Road to 7? Yes. Like, and this one will actually be a recap. Like I said before, the prior one that they did was like them TLDRing the earlier like chapters and stuff, but really they didn't even do very much to TLDR anything. They basically just showed the commercial that always plays, like the trailer basically for the singularity, and then they like showed off Servant Noble Phantasms, and that was it. At least with the Road to 7 ones, the actual ones that JP did, they actually do like recap parts of the story for you. They talk about it, they talk about the individual things, and they usually have a VA or two on there to talk about it with. Watanabe, aka Better Rama. I mean, it's not even about who's better. I just used the one that is bonded less. I feel like all the streams are a waste of time for FG. Only the last 10 to 20% is news. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I think this is the case with like most gaming streams. And I mean like gaming news streams, right? Like where a developer puts something live and talks about it. That's just usually par for the course. Most of them usually get up there, they show a trailer or something, they talk about their merch, they talk about projects that they have upcoming, they give you the actual news right at the end, and then that's it. That's usually how they all go. So it doesn't mean that they're all that way, but the vast majority seem to be. Usually it could have been a trailer drop and a tweet. I do agree with that, and I mean, you're not wrong, Wood, at least from a simple standpoint of doing it that way values everybody's time a little bit more, and straight up is like better for promoting your game. I think one of the biggest travesties that FGO has right now is that there is nothing that it does on social media to promote itself. That is just wild to me, because even as a content creator, I understand that value. Why like Aniplex doesn't seem to understand that is just beyond me. So any news of the JP about rerun return? No. And chat, here, allow me, stop asking, I'll let you know when there is. And the reason why is because we've had people ask like every single day this week. You're not gonna know anything. Not until we know something. And then by the time we know something, you'll probably hear it from somebody else before me even. So it'll just be a thing. I can't believe they actually strike the video on YouTube. It's so bad. Wait, what do you mean strike the video on YouTube? Are you talking about my live stream for that day? That happens all the time. Shut up, chat. No. I'm more than welcome for chat to ask me questions, but asking the same question day after day is like, it's the definition of insanity. You're expecting something to change, and it's like, chat, you can expect to keep asking me for like the next 3 months because it won't change. That's why I'm trying to tell you that. Like, it's very unlikely that you get any news prior to like, I don't know, again, like maybe at like Golden Week in May, right? You might get some news before that, but we'll see. And honestly, don't expect news unless JP actually like gives a stream, because that's something that they'll probably like to show off. Like, here's how people voted and show you the charting and everything. Oh, what the heck, Muramasa? I feel disappointed in you right now. You're going to make me actually use the Mystic Code. That didn't do anything. I thought I had Star Bomb, but I just misremembered. Does any of his crap have Star Bomb? No. Alrighty, let's do one of these, and then one of these, and then one of these. And hopefully we get enough damage out of that to... Alright, maybe. And we did. Using OG Saber for this node? I'm trying not to, if only because my OG Saber's really bonded, so I don't really need to. But it's fine. Like, I can kill that with Muramasa. I usually need a card or two, but it's no skin off my back. And all I do is I just I compensate by just popping the Mystic Code attack buff, which in the prior nodes I haven't even had to do that. So it's not been that big of a deal. Using Margarine and Gawain because glasses. Yep. Yeah, I don't blame you for that either. Whee! The news I want is Fate ER news. Extra record? Yeah, and I mean, like, in a similar way, like everyone keeps asking about extra record. Trust me, there is so little actual news going on in like the entirety of the Fate fandom at this point that the second you hear anything about like extra record, it's like it's going to be all over everywhere. Like people are going to start posting it all over the Discord. It's going to be all over Twitter. It's going to be all over Reddit. Like you'll find out. Like it'll be, as long as you are somebody that is like active in the community, it will be impossible to miss these sorts of announcements. Because there's just really nothing else to talk about. So you can just expect it. But is she Bond 15? No. But again, as I explained yesterday, I believe at this point that I have the actual appropriate approach to Bond, and that's to not completely like fast track all of your units to Bond 15. I don't view Bond 15 as a mark of like pride or anything like that. I know there's some people that do. Some people view it as like, oh, but is your favorite unit Bond 15? And it's like, no, because I want to be able to keep using my unit and be like happy about it and not feel like I'm wasting. So that's really all it is. So at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, I have some Bond 15 units. I basically try not to use them, but I won't not use them if I feel the need to. But yeah, so it's like a unit like OG Saber. There's plenty of times that I really just need that extra firepower, and that's when I use her. Because, holy crap, like, she is just easily my best damaging unit in my Saber class because of who she is. Because I have her Grailed. Because I have her Gold Foed. So, all of that just combines into her being my, like, most powerful option, so I just kind of keep her in reserve a lot. People flexing Bond are weird. I mean, I think it's okay to like maybe like be proud of like Bond 10s and stuff like that, because it's not like you can't just Bond Grail the unit and stuff. But yeah, I don't really see Bond 15 as a goal. I think a lot of people try to like immediately when they get their favorite unit, they try to like fast track them to Bond 15, and I'm just like, no. Because if I like the unit, I'm going to use the unit anyways. And if I'm going to use the unit anyways, they're going to get bonded anyways. And if they're going to get bonded anyways, they're eventually going to reach Bond 15. So, like, those are the ones I don't try because they're easy to get to Bond 15. That makes sense. I know. Like I've said to people before, it's like there's really just no reason to try and fast track Bond more than just, hey, I want to bond efficiently. Trying to, like, fast track it on one unit for anything prior to, like, Bond 5, it's fine, but anything after that point, there's really no reason to. You can maybe say like Bond 6 for certain units, particularly your SSRs. That's like the break point of where if you have NP one of them at Bond 6, you can actually unlock their append. So like I can come up with some reasoning depending on what the unit is or depending on where they are, but usually like you don't really have to try too hard beyond that point. It's fun to use other units. Yeah. Like I said, I've had people that are like, wow, I can't believe you still don't have so-and-so at Bond 10 or whatever. And I'm like, yeah. And then we look through my bond, and it's like, oh wow, like all of these units are just kind of like coming up over time. I don't really have that many bond 5 units. I have a shit ton of like bond 6 and stuff like that. Like, and even beyond, like, because I just keep staggering and I just keep trying to get away with whatever the node will let me get away with. I put Mango in the back line in order to get his interlude. Yeah, Mango's definitely one of the exceptions, because having to get bond 10 for that is just weird, but he be what he be. Also, chat, congratulations, you have 7 days. And because there is no there's no road to 7 yet on NA, like we get it tonight. We're gonna obviously do that stuff tomorrow instead of today, because there's just like it's not actually here. So no big need to do it. I do believe we have the CQ unlocked. I haven't even thought about what this is. I guess we could do it, but let me go do JP first. What kind of units do you recommend keeping in the backline if we don't really need the backline? That's a good question. I think that usually depends on your account. It usually depends on like what your goals are. Like I said, one of my like, I'd say like moderate, like not really short term, but not really long term goals is like going through there, finding the NP1 SSRs that I have and getting them to bond 6. Because that at least unlocks an append for you, a mana loading append, and there's a lot of good you can do with that. Otherwise, the logic that I apply is in terms of easiest to like hardest to bond naturally, your supports are the easiest in the game to bond. And the reason why is because you just take them to every single node. As referenced, look at the top 2 results for my FP gained on JP. Boom, there you go. It's Castoria in both cases, both normal and event. So tells you what people are taking, right? From there, it usually is gonna be like, again, if it's not the supports, it's gonna end up being usually good AoEs. These are people that you're gonna be using prolifically for farming purposes. Getting them bonded up is going to be relatively easy because you want to use them because they're strong or they're efficient or they're just easy to use. And so as a result, you really don't want to be trying to bond them either because they're going to do it naturally as well. And then from there, I'm going to say you have basically your single target units. And even from there, I'd say the final one right there is your sort of challenge units. We could maybe argue that the actual challenge specific units would be higher than single target units in the pecking order. That's up to you. But usually it's one of these two are who I look to actually bond in my backline because it's difficult to get a lot of use out of them otherwise. So frequently you will see me not bond my AoEs in the backline, but instead bond my single targets. And that's just because it's difficult to actually get a lot of use out of them otherwise. It's juggle a trait to deal decent damage, yeah. Oku Saber and Waver are my highest bonded at 12. Nice. I've been trying to fast track my Tomcat to bond 15 because I want to 120 her. Yeah, I think that's the only situation that I can say like, okay, hey, this kind of makes sense. Is like, if you want to fast track to get coins, I get it. If coins are not the issue though, there's like no reason to fast track. And I've talked about this numerous times over the years in the FGO community. One of the problems that people have is they don't stop and ask themselves why, and they don't like wonder whether or not they should do something. So for instance, they will see somebody absolutely blitz a unit to bond 15. Why? They needed the coins. Then instead they look at that and they think, oh, well, they're just flexing because they got bond 15 so fast. And that's what, people do when they really like a unit. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that too. And it's like, you've completely missed the point of why the person did it. They did it for the coins. You did it for the flex. And you're the dumb one then if that's the case, because you basically didn't actually need to do it. And you just kind of hurt your own efficiency. And that entire time you could have been bonding somebody else and just kept using your normal unit as you would. Now instead you've gotten your favorite unit to bond 15 and you keep taking them into nodes and you're not getting any bond out of them. So again, it's really, if you don't care about Bond, it's fine. If you do care about Bond, it's like the stupidest thing you could do. So, but yeah, it's like I think, again, at the end of the day, if you're doing it for coins, that's okay. Especially with the way the devs are treating the coin system at this point. They have said that they realize it's an issue, that they don't give out enough coins, and that they're looking into a fix. They said that 2 years ago. We haven't heard from them since on it, and at this point, I basically have no faith that the devs actually do fix it. I think going to Bond 10 for a Bond C is fine. Over on his Bond 12 and JP, I think. Yeah, and keep in mind that sort of thing is like rough, because you end up, again, with the supports where they naturally bond fast because you take them a lot of the time into nodes. And the other issue at play there is that now on JP, you get like, what is it, 20% chat? 20% more bond for your front line? So every time you take the support into your front line, they bond even faster, which means you get to use them efficiently even less. It is what it is. There's not much you can do about it. That's just how the devs have chosen to basically skew the system. Maybe they forgot. Oh, whoops, tee-hee. Sorry, did you guys all scream about coins? Yeah, we completely let it slip our mind. Oops. It's not like it benefits us, the developers, and we make more money off of it. Yeah, it's 100% that. They're going to stall it out as long as they can. If it does get fixed, I wouldn't be surprised for it to get fixed in one of the like big upcoming things this year. We've got 10-year anniversary, and we've got whatchamacallit. Wait, is this 10 years, chat, or is this 9? Is this 10 or 9 this year? It's 9? Okay. So either way, maybe at the anniversary there. But then we've also got the 30 million downloads campaign. They said they want to do the 30 million downloads campaign even bigger than the 20 million. So at that point, you've got to look at this and say, okay, hey, what was that, the 20 million downloads campaign? Oh, the first ever free SSR ticket. Well, that's going to be a thing. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them do another ticket and then maybe do some like quality of life that people have been really waiting on. I wouldn't be surprised to see them hold something like the coin fix hostage for an anniversary update. Again, it's scummy, but I think that's exactly what they'll do, is they'll hold it and use it for a big impactful moment, so that when everybody's like, oh my god, they suck, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, they're going to pull it out, and then everyone's going to be like, oh my god, they're so great, I love them, they did exactly what we wanted, they really do care, they did listen. It's going to be like, yeah, they really do care, they did listen 2 years later, 3 years later. Like, we are so back. 10th Annie coin fix. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised over something like that, right? But so they've got at least like 2 quote unquote big opportunities to do it at this year. We'll see what they do. If they do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't. I'm not going to hold my breath. Is 6-star ticket give us Olga? I mean, it's widely assumed that we will be getting Olga for free at this point, just based off of the context clues of a certain fight that we go through. But and while that might sound spoilery, chat, it was like pretty unavoidable for everyone on JP for a period in time. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's not going to reveal really anything about the story to you, because we've had obviously villains turn good and stuff like that. So. But again, yeah, that appears to be like something that is on the horizon. That being said, I don't think it's anytime soon, because it clearly had like 4 different parts to it, and we've only gotten 1. So a lot of people are speculating as to when we'll get the second part, and even then, from us getting the second part, you still got the third and fourth part to get. So it's probably going to be a while, especially since the first part happened last year. and it's been a while. So it's definitely looking like they're not rushing that part of things. Do we have 2 parts? Not as far as I know. Not unless I missed one. And I doubt I missed one. They had that stuff in train stations, no way to dodge it. Yeah, if you're talking about the LB7 advertisements, and this is why, like, to a degree, it is very difficult to care about certain spoilers. I try to minimize people's ability to spoil story, but if there's something that's being promoted in like the JP server's advertising and banners, you're not avoiding it. Like the presence of a character, you're not ignoring that. It will be plastered everywhere over all of social media. You will hear people talk about it. You will see it when you come into a stream and see me playing on JP. Even if I'm not even doing the story at that moment, it will still be right there smack in your face. So it's why, like, there's certain things that I treat very highly for spoilers, but there's other things where I'm just like, I guess I don't get to care because the company just kind of basically ruins it for you. Just pick the support they're missing? Probably. You're definitely good about spoilers. Good. I'm glad that I am. I try to be, but again, I know it's being good about spoilers is just a like constant effort. It's not a like you're never perfect and you're never going to like be able to stop caring about them if you set down that path. And that's why I think like so many other people don't care because it's too cumbersome on them. But the reality is, even if you don't really care too much about spoilers, you can still be decent to everybody else and like, hey, maybe just don't type that hidden name in chat that no one's seen. Like, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I can't tell you how many times I've had somebody come into my chat and ask me who I think is going to be an upcoming servant, and then literally blurt out an example that is only known if you actually read the story for LB7. And it just like, it drives me up a wall every time I see it because I'm just like, you're not supposed to know about that name unless you read the story. So basically, you're coming into a stream and spoiling literally everybody that hasn't read it. And it's one of those things where it's like, oh. And so it's like I said, I understand people not caring for themselves, but the fact that they just don't give a shit about other people is like everything that's wrong in the community at that point. Animes already spoil everything. Yeah, I mean, but still, it's just about generally having decency and being kind to your fellow man. Like, that's all it really boils down to for me. Oh no, one more bond level for a meta support? Yep. Grand Rider Wario? Yeah. I have to drop or block online every story release. No, I don't blame you. I think some people are atrocious with it. I myself have had to like unfollow certain people that I otherwise would have no beef with, right? Like just because they just cannot keep their mouth shut. And it's like, hey, I would like to experience the story in its natural habitat when it comes to an A. That's all I ask. Like, I don't need, like, literally the day something drops, people going in there and, like, taking pictures. And this is what's so wild to me. I think the Twitter community for FGO is just irrevocably fucked. And the reason that I say that is purely because, basically, like, you get people out there that go into the story on JP, they take a picture of it, and they just straight up type out what it is and all the references and everything there, and they post it to Twitter. And everybody likes it and retweets it. And I'm like, do people not understand two things? One, if you read the story, you don't need somebody else to actually take a picture of a certain line in the story for you to understand it. And two, if that's the case, then everybody either already knows what it is that you're posting or you're just spoiling them, which is wild. And I don't understand why anyone likes that stuff. It's actually a problem in the community, but it is what it is. I have seen one or two of the like bigger Twitter people call them out and say like, y'all are stupid, but it's going to take a lot more people to actually like band together and realize, yeah, hey, this actually does ruin the community for a lot of people. Like, it is a reason why, like, I think to a degree, a lot of FGO's communities as a whole are very cliquish and very like isolated, is because you can't trust people not to be an ass and not to like ruin things for you. Gotta love people tweeting with the spoiler tag and the broader tag so it shows on both. Yeah, I know a very specific someone that does that, and I hate them for it. I'll just be honest, because they are one of the people with one of the biggest voices in the community, and they will just sit there and they will tag everything as FGO spoilers. Also, hashtag FGO. So it just goes straight into the main hashtag. And I'm like, cool, you're now just putting everybody on notice that they're being spoiled. And it's too late because you put it right at the end of the message. And you don't spoil or hide it. Which is wild because Twitter actually gives you that option. So, like I said, these people don't care. It's all about impressions. It's all about likes. And until the community stops liking that shit and starts actually like telling them, hey, stop that, you're being an asshole, it's just going to keep happening. Casually posting OC1 story in the NA CBC thread. I don't know about that, but again, I basically just don't like the FGO subreddit at this point because, well, they think they're the de facto community, and I'm going to be honest with you and say they're not. Twitter is much bigger than them. And two, yeah, they absolutely don't apply their rules evenly. They don't even try to, and it's been an issue with them since their creation. It won't stop these assholes, I know. Subreddit mods are very inconsistent with their rules. Yeah, and like I said, I don't envy them for having to run the community over there, but at the same time, if it were me, I would have done things different. So that's ultimately my criticism, is I just would have absolutely not put into place certain rules that they had in place for years. I would have not made some of the stupid decisions that they did. I would have not, and I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to say that a big chunk of why that community got ruined were two major decisions that they made. One was originally back in the day, they pretty much got rid of everybody posting art to the subreddit for a long period in time because they tried to lump it all into mega threads. That killed a lot of people posting art, which drove a lot of the growth of the community. And then years later, they decided to allow Sprite comics, and they allowed it to go on for well over a year before finally banning it. And I think at that point in time, so many people that didn't give a shit about the Sprite comics just got disenfranchised with the subreddit and stopped going to it. And I don't think it'll ever recover from that. It doesn't mean that they don't still show like that they have active subscribers, and it doesn't mean that there's not a bunch of active people still in the subreddit, but I think it's a shell of what it used to be. We were on vacation for our wedding anniversary. I see. So he waited till he had you hooked, and then he was like, so now you've got to get into Fate. That's a good strategy. I'll have to try. Based on the fact that his art has not been in the game for a very long time. Do you think there's a chance for Loltoria? I would love that if so, right? Like, but yeah, I mean, I think Laltor has a chance if anyone does at this point, but I'm not sure that necessarily that's the reason why it hasn't been in the game, more than like they just seemingly are kind of like, I guess, weird with how they plan some of it. mean those Sprite comics that 99% of the time have no punchline? Yes, and also are just someone's like weird fanfic of headcanon that like nobody else can understand. And Shortcake, thank you for the 5 months. How's it going? Let me tell you about Fate. Yeah. Springs it on you at the last minute. I only use the subreddit to see the new units. And most of the time, like I'm really bad right now in the middle of tax season, but most of the time, whenever there's a buff, whenever there's a new unit, I immediately post it to like Twitter within like basically usually by like 9 a.m. my time. So you don't have to wait very long to actually find out. And I'll be honest with you, and I'll say most of the time I have a better take than the entirety of Reddit combined. So it is what it is. But I remember how they applied the rule of banning lewd art of Summer Mellison after that whole ban subreddit fiasco. Yeah, that, like I said, I don't gel with the people that actually make the decisions on the subreddit. I don't know who it is at this point. And part of the reason that I didn't know who it is because for the longest time the moderation staff of the subreddit hid their actual identity, and I don't like that. I don't think it's cool. I understand that they probably didn't want to because of harassment, but, well, if you feared harassment, gee, I wonder why, right? Like, you made some terrible decisions, and then, sure enough, oh, well, we don't want to, like, have to face the repercussions of our actions. There it is. Who's that Berserker that I'm using? That is Castoria Berserker. It's her summer form. They banned an OC art of Mash's armpit. It's not even that bad. I mean, if it's just the armpit, I can maybe see why. But if it's like actually just Mash, or yeah, that's stupid. Like I have many tales I could regale you of like this is why I just don't like them. But I'm not gonna bother going into it because again, to a degree, like it's my own personal opinion. You guys can feel the way you want to about that. If you like the subreddit, feel free to like the subreddit. I just don't. Or they're part of 20 other Gacha Reddits? Yeah. Wouldn't have secret police ever been a bad idea? You know, that's a good point. I feel like there was this one time back in the 40s, but like, I don't know. It's like, I may be wrong about that. Started FGO during 5th Annie, so last year around February, I went to the subreddit for the first time, and the first thing I see is a Sprite comic of some character murdering everyone and being yandere. Yeah, like I said, I didn't care about them, and they tried to come out after the fact and say like, oh, well, this was the decision that got delayed because of some other stuff. It's like, no, bullshit. Like, don't get me wrong, right? Like, they'll sit there and they'll say that shit takes time. They just didn't want to deal with it because to them, they were like, well, they, you know, like the subreddit's hopping. It's got tons of content being posted to it. And it's like, yes, it has tons of content being posted to it, but only the people that like Sprite comics liked it. And at the end of the day, a shit ton of people did not care for it. And that's the problem, is I think a ton of people just stopped going to the subreddit because it just kept shitting them out every single day. And so people didn't see any of the stuff they wanted to see. You get 5 people telling you to use the questions mega thread, didn't you? Yeah, and so for a long time, early in the subreddit's history, I actually helped out in the questions mega thread. I actually went in there and answered people's questions. A little bit how I got started doing a lot of the stuff that I'm doing now in the community. I stopped, and the reason I stopped is because I would give someone a very good, methodical, like well-described answer to their question. And then I would get like 3 people in there that were mega thread regulars that would try to like argue with me and combat me on these things. And God, 9 times out of 10, these people did not know what the fuck they were talking about. They were just straight up wrong. And there you go. It just ended up being the way that it was. So it's like I said, it's why I just like don't go back there at this point, because basically people try to do it for like the clout of it rather than actually trying to help and educate people. Yeah, but didn't Grapho actually, like, Grapho is somebody that drew like an art piece every day, wasn't he? But didn't he just like move on to a new fandom now? And the whole reason I point this out is because that's another one of my pet peeves, is like artists that just dip into the fandom, quickly draw a bunch to get everybody to follow it, and then move on. I don't know if you guys have noticed it. It happens like all the time nowadays, where it's like, hey, I'm going to draw a bunch of Fate, and now I'm going to draw a bunch of this, and now I'm going to draw a bunch of that. And like, they never come back. The artists that I like are like, I don't care if you draw content for like other games or other like things that are happening. Just like, don't completely drop like a fandom that, especially if it's like one that made you like who you are and made you famous, right? Like, I don't get that at all. Cough, Genshin artist cough. Yeah, 100%. I do agree. FGO has way more cliques. It does. I think part of that's just like it pre-exists FGO. I think it existed from a time of like, like all the different like Fate IPs that existed out there, and people had their favorites, and so they naturally formed cliques around that. And then when we get into FGO, these all butt heads, and I think that's kind of how it ended up being the way it is. People like to criticize but hate to be criticized. Yeah, I completely understand that, right? I myself hate to be criticized. So it's like, I can understand why artists do that in particular. I just find it to be scummy myself personally. And I feel like probably the best approach as an artist, and I've said this to numerous artist friends that I have, is to actually cast a wide net. Like to instead try to like hit everything rather than trying to only like go hard in the paint in that one thing. If you're gonna go hard in the paint in that one thing, do it in like quick spurts of like a week or two, then go back and do it in quick spurts of like a week or two over here, and then a quick spurts of a week or two over here, so that like, yeah, people don't just go like, oh well, they've just completely abandoned me, right? JP artists are typically the loyal ones. Yeah, 100%. And do you know why that is? One, it's cultural. Two, they just are also the people that love Fate, right? Like, they were the first people exposed to it. RKGK, yep. They just do what makes them money. I'm gonna be real with you, and I'm gonna tell you that a lot of artists are illogical this. They don't do what makes them money. I see so many artists nowadays that all they care about is their Twitter metrics. That's it. And I think it's because they're deluding themselves into thinking that when they get big and famous, it's going to translate into a bunch of like Patreon cash for them. And so like, I've actually seen people that will refuse to straight up take commissions, like, and not because like, oh, I don't want to draw what you were asking me to. Oh, I don't like that top. No, like, they just will refuse to take commissions, period. Even if they're a very good and talented artist. And it's because they're like, I gotta keep like pounding content for Twitter, or in some cases Patreon, right? Tony? I follow Tony on Twitter. I'm quickly wondering whether or not I should, because a lot of the time Tony just complains about his Twitter metrics. So yeah, like I don't understand why that's all artists care about. I can actually respect artists a little bit more when they're like, hey, I gotta get that dough. I gotta like go out there and do something that's gonna make me money. I need to go on like a commission grind or something like that. I respect that, because I totally understand artists have to eat. I don't understand I'm just going to keep getting into this infinite cycle and loop of needing to jack up my Twitter numbers that I never get to actually realize. Because Twitter does not pay you. Like, people will be like, oh yeah, Twitter pays you in advertising and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, but you have to literally be an account that's getting like millions of impressions a day, and most artists don't. It's all look. Yeah, I agree. Right. How to get metrics is doing nothing. Yeah, no, I mean, they have to like do stuff, but I've told people before, the folly is you should not focus on Twitter. You should focus on improving your craft, keep drawing pieces, and then posting them to Twitter. Not, I'm only going to draw what Twitter wants me to draw. Because if you're talented, if you're good, eventually that following will come regardless of what you're doing. And you should be focused more on trying to make a living, which at this point is like the hardest thing to do from any sort of content creation. You need to be doing things that allow you to make a living off of it rather than things that are going to improve your follower count. Follower count can translate into like more Patreon and stuff like that, more art awareness and everything, more exposure. But chat, do y'all remember like back in the day when artists used to hate the concept of working for exposure? And it's wild because like that's what most of them do now, and that's it. And it should not. Didn't Andromeda's artists say they were going to stop posting on Twitter because they got flagged or something? I don't know. I think another one that they all get really upset about is the like search ban thing, and it doesn't even work how most of the artists think it does. So they should be creating. Yeah, exactly. If you want to treat it like a business, isn't the fundamental rule of it to know your consumer base? Yes, I do agree with that, right? But at the same time, do you want to know what the meta is? Because like it's not as like smart as you think it is, right? The meta is anime booba. That's it. That like people don't care as long as you draw like someone hot from anime or a video game or hell even pop culture. Like that is literally all you have to do. And the biggest artists do that. They don't pigeonhole themselves into one genre, one category. The biggest artists draw all categories. And that's why like those people usually have like several hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers. Because they have a very good artistic style. It is very aesthetic, very repeatable, very easy for them to mass produce, and they just keep hammering them out constantly. If you draw a hot waifu, I don't care, give me more. Exactly. That's really all it is. So it's like you'll see people and they'll be like, I'm done with Fate, I'm not gonna draw Fate now. And I'm like, okay, that's stupid. It just categorically is. Like, you should draw Fate when Fate releases a hot waifu. You should draw, Genshin when Genshin releases a hot waifu. You should draw Honkai Star Rail when it releases a hot waifu. You should draw, I don't know, like Samus Aran or 2B or whatever, like whenever one of them is relevant. Like that's all you have to do is just keep hopping between them. You maximize the fandoms. Exactly. Yeah, it's the solution has always been, if you want to grow big, cast a wide net. If you sit in one spot the whole time, I need to take my own advice. If you sit in one spot the whole time, you can only expect to ever have the exposure of that one spot. And that's kind of what a lot of people do. They try to like jump from one fandom to the other. The problem is it's like they do it for like years, and I don't think that's a smart approach. Off topic, what does Bonk do? Don't do it because it's broken right now. It basically bonks Aurelia. But for some odd reason, my plugin stuff isn't working. I think because there's an update, but I gotta go look at how to like reapply the update. And I don't have the time to do that. Oberon is so fun to use in the 90+ node on an A. But you need Oberon for it? But yes, Oberon is fun to use. And don't get me wrong, chat. Don't assume that I'm like frothing at the mouth or anything about this. It's just this is stuff that I've noticed, and it's a topic that I've discussed quite a bit with a lot of my artist friends, especially as somebody that frequently commissions artists, as somebody that basically at this point is a veteran of that sort of thing. I'm always astounded when I run into certain artists that are just like extremely like off the wall different. and they like are basically belligerent and uncooperative, and I never understand it. I'm always like, all right, cool, I'll just not talk to you. Like, I don't get the people basically that go like, yeah, I don't want your money. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Are you playing Overwatch 2? No. Next question. I'm not a fan really of how Overwatch 2 has handled the progression in their game. I think it's terrible. I think it's bad. I actually saw a video on this the other day too that someone actually broke it down, and apparently in the time it would take you to normally unlock a skin from like loot boxes in the old system, which would have been like maybe like a week's worth of playing. Apparently now in Overwatch 2, if you want to unlock something specific like that, it will take you up to 8 months. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. It's terrible. It's trash. I don't understand why they have the system the way they do. I cannot fathom where loot boxes are a better system than the system you currently have in place. So it is what it is. Do I draw? I used to as a kid. My mother is an artist. She taught art for years, and it runs in the family. But I do not, unfortunately. I'm not going to say that I wouldn't have the desire to try, but I would need a lot of free time. That's just something I don't have. I forgot Overwatch existed. Yeah. Which are the worst Fortnite collabs or Overwatch collabs? I don't know. We were actually that topic came up in VIP earlier today, and I think it's a case of like, to a degree, while Fortnite has absolutely shielded themselves to every possible IP pretty much at this point, Overwatch is headed down that same path, and I think the only difference here is that people are still generally positive about Fortnite. Like, I'm sure there are like people that play it every single day and are burnt out on it and don't like it and stuff like that. But the general like perception of it is like, hey, it's okay. Versus Overwatch, I think the entire greater gaming community is still angry at Blizzard and at Overwatch for different things. I think people still view Overwatch 2 as a little bit of a scam to a large degree. Obviously, there's a ton of people that play Overwatch 2. They're fine with it. They don't have any issues. Those are not the people I'm talking about. But like I said, I think that's the difference there is like basically anything that Overwatch 2 does that isn't fixing those major problems that the overall community of gaming has with it is probably just going to be seen in a negative light. And I think that's the case with like any game, right? Like the second you hear Starfield news, because a lot of people out there in the general gaming community wanted to shit on Starfield and don't like it, anything that comes out for Starfield, they're going to shit on. And I think that's the way it is. That's how people are, right? Overwatch 2 getting Cowboy Bebop collab is so weird. Yeah. Blizzard's still speedrunning being the worst being to ever exist, which is an achievement if I ever saw one. Do you know the reason why like Blizzard has had so many terrible, horrific failures and that they're still around is because they have still a ton of loyal fans and they still make a shit ton of money off their games. So as long as they continue to keep making a shit ton of money, they can keep producing the crap that they want. It's basically the consumer doesn't have the patience to basically sit there and go, you know what? No, I'm not going to buy that. I'm not going to buy the battle pass. I'm not going to buy the game. I'm not going to buy the microtransaction. Because if they did, then Blizzard would actually have to change its tactics. But as long as the community keeps buying it, Blizzard doesn't have to do jack shit. Okay, where are we? Sorry, I'm just looking up the challenge quest here real quick. Sigurd, Kentucky, William Tell, Jekyll, and Anderson. Nani? Okay. Okay. We can sit in a chat and talk extensively about a fucking gacha game. Yeah, oh, absolutely. And like I said, chat, like, gacha games are the most predatory of all scams, right? Like, it just is what it is. If you don't want gacha games to keep existing, stop playing gacha games. That's like, if you want gacha games to be way less predatory with how things are priced in those games, stop buying packs. The devs will naturally go, we need to do something about this. You can look no further than something like Azure Lane, where, oh, hey, now we're going to try to make the majority of our money off of skins instead of, like, you buying a pack. And so getting units in Azure Lane, to my understanding, is easier, and getting the skins is where they make all their money. I tried that, then summer comes around. Yeah. Hey, that the video ain't bad. Yeah, I mean, it's an absolutely genius collaboration by them. Like it's just a popular IP, and it's probably fairly easy to apply to Overwatch. All right, chat. I just Invincible comp this. There was a ton of nonsense in it. Sweet. Invincible competence. Because, like, I agree. I do not want to have to think about this. Oh, I have event bonus turned on. See, chat, and look no further to what I was saying about Bond earlier. I only have a Bond 6 Morgan. Hey, chat, anyone got a MLB Prisma Cosmos Castoria? Any one of y'all got one of them laying around? I can switch to it. Yeah, let me turn the settings off. Yeah, I probably won't get to pull a new list until after tax season. So basically, people that are on the list right now are safe. But post tax season, I will run the list again and basically check. Here we go. Shaq, thank you. I appreciate it. It just makes it easier having Prisma Cosmos in the party. Yeah, we'll just go in with that. Call them all her daughters, also gave herself bigger boobs. I mean, I don't really care for the gameplay of Azure Lane, and that's why I don't play it, right? But the women in Azure Lane are hot as fuck. And it has some great art. So, like, I got no problem with the game. So it's like, at the end of the day, the only reason I don't play is because of that. And I've told people before, if you don't like the gameplay of a gacha game, don't go play it and sit there and bitch about it. Go online, go to Rule 34, go look up the lewd PNGs that you want, go look up all the dojins that you want. That's all you need. Okay? Like, don't go out there and play the predatory gacha game and sit there constantly complaining about why you have to play it. Because it's the truth. You don't have to play it. But I hate gacha. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't understand the people that play like 6 gacha games and sit there bitching about half of them. It's like, I wish they were like this gacha game. Why are you playing it? Stop playing it. If you don't like it, stop playing it. Why am I still here playing FGO? Because I like it. Call me crazy. I don't know. Chat, you said I have to juggle. Should be fine there. All of them have the damage resist? I feel like I remember this one vaguely. They have Sweet Baby Detector, or Sweet Baby Ink Detector now on Steam. Yeah, I followed them. So if you guys haven't been paying attention, part of the drama going on in gaming is like all this stuff about like people constantly injecting like woke narratives and stuff into gaming. I think what you consider to be woke is different to every single person and yada, yada, yada. But regardless, there actually has been proven that there is a behind the scenes push to like basically social engineer a lot of gaming. I don't like it. A lot of people don't like it. And one of the companies involved in that is Sweet Baby. And so apparently what Sweet Baby is they're narrative consultants. They get hired by a company to come in there and help them make their game more inclusive. It sounds like a noble goal, but in reality, it's usually the reason why you end up hating half the stories of half the games that are in there, because they end up being stupid shit like Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, where we're gonna totally denigrate the entirety of the Justice League except for the one woman that's in the Justice League, and then we're all gonna cry for her. So that's why you end up with crap like that in a video game. And all his games are about avoiding that. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say again, like I have no problem with Hideo Kojima's outlook on things like that, but yeah, at the end of the day, the real reason that a lot of this is happening is because you have investment firms out there that keep rating these games based off their ESG scores. ESG is a financial like metric where it's meant to derive the overall suitability of a company to be invested in. And the reality is instead it's being used to like socially engineer the actual narrative of a video game. So if you put things into the game that they don't like and don't want to see in a video game, they give you a negative score. If you have a negative score, you can't really secure any funding from them. In fact, the better your score, the more funding you can secure from them. And so that's why a bunch of these people are actively trying to like change their games to get more funding. And that's where, okay, then you call in the consultant like Sweet Baby to come help you fix your game. And yeah, it's why so many of these games are just becoming utter trash, and a lot of them are the AAA studios because they're the only people that can afford to hire a consultant and get this stuff. So yeah, it's just awful. I don't really like seeing any of it, but that's why there's a curator group called Sweet Baby Detector. It's for more than just games. Oh no, ESG is definitely for more than just games, but where it's being applied into games and how in particular is really nasty at this current moment. I'm sure it's also being applied nastily in other things like other businesses, but I'm not going to get into that. This is why I'm glad indies have Steam. Yeah, I agree. I think it's awesome. Well, that goes back to the original Gamergate. It's very much the same people as one of the investors of Sweet Baby is a ghost baby in which the company has a person. Yeah, I mean, like, I never, like, looked at all the Gamergate stuff. I was never really, like, too, like, aware of it at the time. I know it was a big thing. I just didn't pay too much of attention to it. So it's like, I don't really care about that. I just want people to stop fucking with games. Like, we got too many trash games that come out. Like, I am sick and tired of these games, like, spending all of their time on having a, like, socially acceptable narrative, and then, like, they make just an utter trash game as a result. And it's usually because they just focused way too much on things that didn't matter. People don't care. The only thing people care about is that your game is good. That's literally all that it matters. Green has killed my gacha, so I started playing FGO and I'm enjoying it a lot, to be honest. Good. Square Enix has gachas. Square Enix has like several gachas. I'm obliged to know every gacha out there now. Art was a method of analyzing and criticizing society. Yeah, and so that's really interesting because, chat, nowadays, do you view video games as art? I think I used to. I think there's still some things that, like, yeah, I can definitely say that for. But not everything. Let's go with that. And then that, and then that. Depends on the game. Yeah, I agree. Like, I think a lot of video games nowadays are not really an artistic expression anymore. I think video games as an art is it's not a dead concept, but it's on life support. Even art can be bastardized. That's true. Extreme Beach Volleyball is the Mona Lisa of console games. You are correct, and I agree. Let's see. They're all single target NPs, so I don't have to care too much about that. And basically, though, gonna keep trying to whittle down Kentucky because he's the only one that's actually effective against the party at the moment. I would like to see some servants from African mythologies. I actually think that'd be pretty cool. Like, I didn't really care too much for Wangina, but mostly because of the situation that like Quick is in and the fact that I didn't need another Quick foreigner. But I thought Wangina was still a like really cool concept and idea, and I don't mind them like doing other stuff. I believe games have the potential to be art. Yeah, I agree with that. Chat, if I can, I'm gonna try to secure a copy of Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut for PC. Because I don't know if you heard, but that did get announced. It's available on Steam, and it's gonna be coming out, I think, in May. But like, yeah, God, I don't care. We 100% played through that game already on the stream. I'll do it again. I'll fucking do it again because it was great. It was amazing. That game was like one of the few 10 out of 10 games that I've ever given on the channel. So like, I will happily play through it with you guys again. I'll be wary and cautious about it. Oh yeah, 100%. Like, I'll be the same way, Zero. If I see that they're involved with a game, it's just going to make me think twice. But if I still really like and want the game, I'm still going to buy the game. And at the end of the day, I think, like, it just is what it is. In fact, I believe Sweet Baby is also involved with Steam. So you can't escape it nowadays, but it is a big issue. And I do think that's why a lot of people are beginning to talk about it more and more, is because they're just like, can we stop? Can we stop with you trying to, like, brainwash us all and instead just, like, focus on making a good game? PC port haters are out in full force for that. Yeah, I saw the picture on Twitter of like people in the like Steam forums complaining that it got ported, and I'm just like, but why? I don't understand why people are so like crazy that they think that games losing their exclusivity is a bad thing. I will never understand that. Having a game available like in the most possible places is the best possible result for everybody. Dumb people are dumb. Yes, literally. I'm so excited for Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, but in a couple of weeks. Was it not already on PC? I thought it was. Gonna try to break Kentucky's bar there. I find it funny that I've focused all of my efforts on Kentucky, and William Tell is dying faster, and it's probably because he's man traded. They mean Horizon Forbidden West. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, God, I could have sworn Zero Dawn was already out. A bucket meal from KFC or 2 large pizzas for my birthday. 2 large pizzas. KFC is mid in my area. So, like, I'm biased. Meanwhile, the Popeyes in my area is actually good, which is hilarious because, well, I say actually good. I have definitely had some terrible experiences at that Popeyes, but the food quality is usually good. It's normally the service that's a problem. I don't know if you guys have ever seen God, what's their name? RDC World. I don't know if you've I don't know if you guys have ever seen RDC World's Popeye skit, but it's 100% true. 100%. I love those guys. They're great. One turn left. We still got some space here. I guess we will now work on getting Sigurd's bar down here. They're really good, yeah. KFC must be amazing in Japan. You know, I don't know if, like, there's other things, but I will say, like, most of the American fast food chains, when they go overseas, have a tendency to be better. Because I guess, like, in a weird way, Americans have lower expectations of fast food compared to a lot of, like, a lot of different countries have, like, higher expectations of it. So, like, I still remember going to, like, McDonald's in Canada, and like I could order a pizza at it, and I was like, what the fuck, you can get pizza at a McDonald's? And I was like, this is just wild. What do you mean you can get pizza here? So it's like, yeah, there's just some really like different things on different menus and different quality of items as well. Is the McPizza good? Honestly, it didn't look that good, but like, I don't know, I never had it. Most countries ban a lot of additives, so the foreign ones taste better. Maybe, right? Like, I couldn't begin to tell you. I just know that it's a thing because I've traveled the world enough to have seen it. And I'm just like, it's always just such an amazing and interesting concept to me. Like, apparently, chat, like, you know how we have the McRib and it's like a seasonal item here in the States? Apparently, it's like just always on the menu in Germany. And I'm like, huh? Like, why? Like, why isn't it just a permanent thing everywhere? Thank you for your cool videos. I'm newish, had to reset account to FGO. Oh, no problem. Let me know if there's any way I can help. Always happy to answer questions. I always hear the fast food chains are way better outside the US. Like I said, I just assume it's that, like, to a degree, Americans don't care and they just need their food fast. Whereas, like, other countries, like, I'm not paying for this shit. Like, I guess we just have low standards. Okay, so Merlin, oddly enough, got stunned. That is non-ideal, but we're gonna go ahead and send it because otherwise I am unprotected. That is, like, almost a worst-case scenario, because if Castoria gets stunned, you can usually just pop Merlin's invuln to cover you. But when Merlin gets stunned, you fucked. you ain't doing anything to that. Dip in pork prices causes McRib. Right. So then I guess like what's weird then is why is it like permanently available overseas? Unless like maybe it's just cheaper in other countries and so they don't have to worry about it. Like maybe Germany has really easy access to pork, right? Yeah, so it's like that makes a little bit of sense, but it's like, yeah, I mean, now tell me why McDonald's had pizza in Canada. I don't know. I also know I think like don't they serve like poutine in some places of Canada as well? Which I'm not sure I want poutine from McDonald's, but either way. More of a Fate Stay Night kind of guy. Honestly, the Fate Stay Night subreddit is better than the FGO subreddit. I am also there. I don't really participate in it, but like most of the discussions that I've seen go on there are usually of higher intelligence. Because they had a pizza tie-in from the 80s and just kept it. Interesting. I know you can get Costco poutine in Canada. Wait, you mean like at a Costco you can get poutine? I've never really had Costco food, but I've heard people like swear by it. To be fair though, I don't have a Costco in my area, so. I'm gonna try that. Costco food is decent, yeah. Well, and I think a lot of it also is the price, right? Yeah, $1.50 hot dog never misses. Yeah, so it's like it's just so cheap you don't care because it's like, oh, sweet. Like I would have to pay like $10 for this somewhere else. Cornball Drip, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Oh, that's all good. Cheap food versus healthy food, yeah. Yeah, I saw somebody like people are like now beginning to complain on the DoorDash app for a lot of the places in my area, just saying that like the cost is getting outrageous, and I don't blame them because the cost is getting outrageous. Like basically in my area, a lot of the places just have like increased their delivery menu pricing by like 100%, and it's just like, oh, okay, this is just insane, but thank you. And then there's a couple places that haven't, and they're the ones that I frequently order from because I'm just like, all right, but I guess like the problem with that is it just gets very like stale after a while because you just keep eating the same thing over and over and over again. Oh wait, this is an A. We don't have Mighty Chain. I'm going to still try to whittle down Kentucky because there's still 4 enemies remaining, so he needs to go so I can get the other person in, and of course I whiffed. He'll go down on the next turn, though. People spend change for maybe a hot dog or chicken nuggets. Yep. I can get go to a real restaurant and get 2 entrees for the price of takeout in my area. Yeah. And it's funny too because there's the occasional like deal that I can find where it's like, this is kind of overpriced, but I get like so much food from it that I can actually like divide the meal in half and get 2 servings. That's the ones that always make me chuckle. I'm going to go ahead and do a targeted NP game there. Oh no, that was dumb of me because I didn't realize Merlin's situation. So we just got to go ahead and use it all if I want to be able to do the normal sequence. Wait, I don't have... Yeah, okay. I didn't think I did. So I'm going to guess that, well, it's not going to matter. I'm not going to get any follow-ups here. When you're in a big city, everything is expensive. And see, I'm not, but everything's still expensive. So it's like, it's getting kind of stupid in my area. During Corona, farmers were fucked over. Yeah. And I get that, right? Like, I get, like, prices having to go up because of, like, logistics issues and everything. My problem is like we're years removed from the original like COVID spike. Most people have figured out how to handle things, and like they're still going crazy. Speaking of which, chat, we actually do need to talk about Lasengle stuff. I completely forgot. I do think that'd be cool, Mael, but like again, for the exact reason you're DMing me, it's probably why they wouldn't do it. Are they finally hiring more staff? Kind of. Kind of. Because people didn't pay attention and accepted lies about how economics work. Yeah, I've seen so much like misinfo and stuff like that, even from supposed experts, and I'm just like, guys, you need to like shut up. And economics is not an exact science either. That's the other problem, is you get people that try to like assume that it is. You don't have. Okay, no, you still do. And you don't have. Okay, you still do. I had to make sure because I couldn't see it on the bar anymore because they just have so many buffs. Okay, Anderson got his bar broke, so now we got to do Jekyll here. Jekyll's probably going to be our last one to die. Economics is pattern and theories, yeah. Single staff, what is this strange sentence? Yep. Least humble field, yeah. Also people keeping you from being even remotely self-sufficient. Like having a garden and saying your garden is worse than your car in terms of carbon footprint. Yeah, those people are fucking insane. And I just want to like go out on the record and say that. It's like, listen, do you know what's also bad for the environment? Humanity, so stop breathing. Like, it's like, come on, man. No, it's just not going to be a thing. Gotta get Morgan to her NP. Ooh, actually, I probably should have had the Merlin Buster buff there. I didn't see. If I did, I'm gonna feel oof. Okay, no, I still one turn off. Okay, now everybody should have lost their buffs. Looks like they did. You just farted. Clearly you hate nature. Indeed. Forgot about Merlin's glasses. I need to like actually unlock that stuff. I haven't done it yet. You grow your own food, you save your own money. Yeah, it's like, oh, your garden is so terrible for the environment. Meanwhile, we don't have to put all of your like mass produced like produce on a semi truck and ship it locally to your area. It's like, I think that's a net positive. I'm sorry. Like, you know, just from the emissions of the truck alone. Like, these people don't even think when they say stuff like that. Being new, is there a way to transfer accounts to BlueStacks PC? Yeah, it's just a transfer code. Just be careful with it because unlike most other gacha games where there's an actual like account, you don't have an account, you just have a transfer code, and it's very easy to screw it up and like just permanently lose access to your account. Make sure that you like issue a new one before you do anything, then like use it to transfer. And the second you use it to transfer to a new place, you might want to issue another transfer code just so that like once you've gotten it over on that new device, you now have a transfer code should you ever need it for an emergency. They really need to add a link feature to social media. Yeah, I mean, people have been asking for it for years, and I still do not understand why they haven't. To me, that is the like most no-brainer of things at this point. Okay, now Jekyll's break bar is down. Oh no, chat. What are we going to do? Jekyll's going to use his NP. We're all doomed. Ironically enough, they actually managed to hit Merlin, which is kind of funny. Let me see. Looks like Merlin got pushed in pretty hard at that. There's only one more turn remaining. Everybody's going to be at their NP. So we're just going to go ahead and invuln them. Imagine Jekyll wipes the team. I mean, it is possible. Actually, probably should have popped her guts. It would have gotten me more stars and it would have gotten me more crit damage. Yeah, that might have killed. Unlikely, yes. Okay, so based off this, everyone's buffs have expired. And we're just going to go ahead and do it to it. And make him heal with a boss health bar. Yeah, there's so many other ways that you could make Jekyll better than he is. His MP in fights are an auto, yeah. If every human held their breath once a day for like 20 to 30 seconds, would it reduce CO2 emissions? I don't think so, because while you are holding your breath, I assume you probably have to take subsequent deeper breaths after that. And then, like, it probably, like, just offsets. Saved my account, phew. Wait, were you about to lose it? And Cornball, thank you for the prime. Appreciate it. Otherwise, it can't be called all natural. Oh yeah, there's all sorts of like terrible fucking like restrictions on farming and stuff. So anyways, chat, this is the thing I wanted to show you guys. Basically, Lasengle on their recruiting site has released some new data. And obviously this is Google Translate. Trubs, I think, actually went over all of it on his stream, but I just wanted to give my 2 cents on it. But we got some interesting data as to like how Lasengle works. So I don't really get it, but it is what it is. Again, these are as of September of 2023, so it's a decent idea as to like what this do be. Okay, so here's their member composition. First of all, they have 308 employees. This is actually pretty wild because it definitely doesn't feel like the game has 308 employees, does it, chat? It definitely feels like it's like 100, maybe, right? Like, so there's a lot more there behind the scenes. The average age is older than me. Feels good, man. But actually, I'd say like for a development studio, I think this is pretty much right on par. You're going to naturally have some younger people. You're going to naturally have some older people. This is just the way it is. And you can kind of see the actual breakdown here where they end up having basically only 6.4% of them are over 50. I'm not surprised. Video gaming is a very young, like, genre still. It hasn't been around all that long. But granted, I think also a lot of video game developers probably retire younger than most other things just due to wear and tear and wanting to maybe get out of the industry. Meanwhile, conversely, under 24 is only 1.3%. This is maybe a little bit concerning because it tells you that they don't really have a lot of like young staff. But granted, 24 is a really ripe young age, and them being younger than that almost means like, hey, I didn't really go to college. So I'm not surprised that it's only this amount in that regard, and I think it's okay. 45 to 49 is the next higher metric there at 11.7%. Again, this is getting up there, but these are going to be more of your veterans. This is going to be more of your staff there that have been around for a long time and kind of know what they're doing. I'd say this is actually concerning. I think the fact that you don't have like really all that much in this age range at least is maybe a concern that we don't have enough veterancy in the company, but it is what it is. Similarly, over here on the flip side, you end up having 25 through 29, only 12%. So again, maybe the other concern there being, hey, we don't really have a whole lot in terms of young innovators coming in. So it looks like the vast majority are going to be here in this 44 through like 30 age range, and that's to be expected. But these are again going to be people that have been around for at least a decent chunk of time. They're maybe not experts in the craft, but they should be reasonably well veteraned and well experienced. And to that degree, I'm going to say there's also some upsides and downsides with each of the like ends of the metric system here, where if we start looking at younger employees can bring in new ideas, but can be problematic because they maybe don't have experience and they make mistakes. Older employees can be problematic in the fact that maybe they are very set in their ways and they don't like to take risks. So there are upsides and downsides to each of these. So again, this is kind of your sweet spot is right in here in this range. And yeah, I'm not surprised to see that it makes up the majority of the company. It's roughly coming in at around 70% there of the employees. And yeah, I think it is what it is. I think that's to be expected at this point. And you can see basically from veteran staff who've been involved with the game in game production for many years to young employees in their 20s. We understand each other's different backgrounds and work together to improve each other while creating games. Sounds interesting, is what it is. Not surprised by that. We do have the people by job type, but let's instead focus on this over here real quick. So it's the male to female ratio. It's actually better than I expected. I think a lot of people would look at this number and go like, holy crap, they only have 30% female. Why isn't it like 40 or 50%? Yeah, y'all don't get it. Like video game development is largely a male dominated genre. And while I'm sure some of this 30% is not developer staff, it's probably in different jobs. I'm going to at least say, hey, it's higher than I thought it would be. I thought this number would be maybe as low as 10% and maybe as high as like 20. So the fact that it's at 30%, I'm going to say it's actually pretty decent. And again, you can see the male to female ratio is approximately 7-3. I want to create games that are fun for everyone, regardless of gender. We have members working with this passion. I think that's fine. Just don't obviously go trying to work at Lasengle hoping to get a relationship out of it, because again, that assumes that even any of the women are available, and let alone the fact that there are basically 2 males to almost every single female that are there. Unless you're gay, true, maybe, right? And so then we have the percentage of people by job type, and you can see members with various specialized skills work together to create games. In addition, members of administrative departments such as journal affairs and accounting work together to support game production. Woohoo! Go accountant. I'm going to tell you guys what each of these is, because I did ask Trubs to give me a little bit of a TLDR. So starting from top left to right, and then bottom left to right. So top left here is engineer. So these are going to be your coders, again, like people that you expect are actually doing the programming of the game. I think this is a problem. I think this is exactly what I have been talking about, and kind of proves me right. Why the fuck are the people that actually do a lot of the work of implementing parts of the game one of the smallest portions of the employees? Like, this is part of the reason why things are seemingly just so bottlenecked and taking so long. This is why, chat, it is so much harder for them to basically produce any amount of content, be it new or old. Okay? This is why when they've said, like, hey, it's just as hard on us to produce a new event as it is to produce a rerun, while we immediately smell the bullshit on that, we also have to keep this in mind that, yeah, it might actually be. That is to say, if all of the work is bottlenecking at the implementation side of things, then even if it's quote unquote easier, it's still a shit ton of work they have to do that is redundant and the same as implementing something new. So yeah, I'm not surprised that at that point, if what they say is true, this is probably where they are trying to hire, and it is probably where they are absolutely failing to. Again, I've talked about this numerous times. Part of that could be Unity. Part of that could just be that, you know, programming in general is a very back-breaking job, and they have a hard time keeping people in. One of the big things I think Trump's talked about today, because we talked about it privately, is the fact that Ono apparently in that like recruitment drive video that they just produced talks about. He literally gets asked a question by the Sony person, like, "Is Lasengle a black company?" And he doesn't even deny it. He basically just goes like, "Well, yeah, but like if you work here, like." You know, hey, at least you've got a job. And it's like, what? Like, that is not how you respond to that question. At least you've got a job. You're not wrong. The economy sucks right now. At least you've got a job. That is a good thing. That doesn't mean it's a good thing that the job is like killing you. The fuck does that mean? Are you meaning like his response, or are you meaning like what's a black company? Black companies are it's like a Japanese term for basically like, this is a very bad company to work for. They treat their employees like trash. So like, I'm not sure that it necessarily is, and I think there's signs here, but I think he was trying to be like aloof and like, you know, kind of just avoid the question, but he ended up like giving one of the worst possible answers he could have given. So EA, yeah, EA would be the great example of a black company. So anyways, that's engineers. The next one up here is creators. Chat, it says creator. I'm gonna just be real with you. This means artist. This means designer. Like this is literally part of the issue at play here, is they have so many artists compared to how many like actual programmers they have. This is why it's just as hard for them to do a like old rerun as it is to just put in a new event, because it's the same amount of work for the coders basically. I think it's stupid, but I guess that's what they're trying to tell us. So again, obviously I think the one thing that has not slacked over the years is the overall quality of the game's art and stuff like that. I think that's been fantastic. Obviously certain designs are hit or miss. I think that's always going to be the case. And you know, we can definitely say like, hey, you know, the UI kind of sucks or something like that, but honestly stuff like that's going to be a little bit more on the programming side of things and less on the design side of things. Not that like they can't design a better one, but again, it's hard to get something actually implemented if you can't actually get it implemented. So next up here in the 23% bracket, this is planner is what it says. I'm going to assume these are people that are handling roughly like logistics and event planning and coordination. There may be people that are scheduling like banners and stuff like that and content. This may be your overarching like sort of directing of the actual like flow of the game. Or it could just be, again, like live events like the Winterfest stuff that they put on, the live streams, you name it. So it could be any one of those things. Down here in the 3.9% bracket at the bottom, this is double planners than coders. The plans are shit. Chat, while that sounds like a good piece, it doesn't matter how robust of a plan you make if you can't actually follow it. Right? You can plan to take over the world, you know, become the richest man alive and go to the moon. And if you have none of the capability of doing that, it doesn't matter what your plan is. I will point out though, yeah, the fact that they have like that many planners seems crazy to me, but it is what it is. Like I said, planner may be not the right term, but we'll talk about that. Anyways, the next one up here in 3.9%, that is producer. So If you guys are unaware of like what producing is in terms of like Hollywood or video games or anything like that, producers usually represent the money. That is to say, whoever is investing money in the project. This may be Sony, this may be Aniplex, this may be Type Moon. And as a result, your producers are, because they represent the money, they are in charge of making sure that stuff actually gets out on time, on schedule, on budget. They are the taskmaster, the whip holder that's sitting there going, yeah, get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done. Okay? And that's the reason why, is because they represent the money. So to a degree, you could say that producers are the problem. They're not really. It's who the producers represent that's the problem. It's who gives the producers their orders. They definitely are usually in talks with not only like the actual producer who is funding and investing in the game, but they're also in talks with basically like video game like upper management and development and stuff like that, like whoever the lead dev is and stuff. They're going to be talking with them saying like, okay, here's are we working according to plan, here's where we expect these things to be done, that sort of thing. So but that's usually the role they fulfill. I'd say it's a little bit concerning that it's only 3.9% of their employees are producers, if only because like that's 3.9% to manage literally all of the other aspects here potentially, and that's kind of wild to me. You definitely don't want a situation where you have too many chiefs, not enough Indians, where basically there's not enough workers, but there's too many people overlooking the workers' shoulders. But you do definitely want at least to make sure that there's enough people to make sure that each of the tasks are being handled appropriately, everything is flowing as it should, and that the tasks are actually getting completed. And it is very easy to point back to FGO over the last like 18 months and say they definitely have a producer problem, because holy shit, what the hell happened at LB7? So yeah, it's like one of those deals where they got off rails, they were delayed, they were late, they did not deliver on time, and they had to publicly apologize about it. That's definitely a problem, I think, going forward. Whether or not the solution is hiring more producers, I don't know, but there was clearly an issue there. I suspect the issue, though, lies in the bottlenecks that are happening elsewhere, particularly in this department right here again, but it be what it be. So then next up here, we've got the 18.2%. This is marketing. Fire all of them. Okay, no, sorry, that's not true. We don't need to fire all of them. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say that the marketing side of things does a fantastic job for JP. The commercials that we get for the games are actually really good. The advertisements are very well received over in Japan. They seemingly are everywhere. They're in subway stations, on buses, on billboards, on the sides of buildings. You name it. So they're pretty much everywhere. And again, I've heard people say before that, like, especially during FGO's peak, you could not go to JP and watch television and not see an ad for FGO. So I'm going to say, at least on that side of things, things are amazingly well done. Outside Japan, every single member of the marketing department needs to be fired. They are terrible. They don't do jack shit. I'm sorry. I know that sounds awful to the people that are currently working the job, but the travesty of what we get on social media and any amount of actual advertising for the game is just awful, and it should not be acceptable. I cannot believe that Aniplex actually allows it. Is this the same team that works on FGO&A too? No, FGO&A and its localization is handled by Aniplex of America, so I assume that all of those are different. What percentages of people for these do you think would be ideal? I don't know, right? Like, I'm not actually working there, but I can definitely say that I feel like this number should absolutely be like double what it is. Like, it definitely needs to be at least in the 20 percentile category. Okay? I think I'm okay with this. I think this seems a little high and could go a little bit lower. I think this seems a little low and could go a bit higher. I think this is perfectly fine for marketing. The last one here is management. And this is really interesting. And this is why I say, like, I actually think that the planning department here is low key the actual bosses, because you see a calculator right there, chat. Yeah, this is the accounting. So they call it management, but I suspect it's overhead. It's management, like assistance, where it's straight up like the administrative support. It is not the actual people making the decisions of the game. I think those people are up in here and right here. Okay, so in that regard, if you actually combine these two, we maybe have a little bit of an issue. Okay, because this is 23.3%. And this is 3.9%. Okay. So let me do some basic math here on the screen. And essentially, you have functionally 27% of the company is the boss. Now, like I said, I assume there's way more in here for like logistics and actual event planning, so they're not the boss. But yeah, definitely if we're trying to hide things, this is not the easiest way to handle it. But there is at least some indication that that we do have the bosses being hidden in here. And thus it means the actual people producing the game are probably right here. And that is a not good number for the overall status, right? So it's like I said, this is why my gut instinct is that this number should be lower and this number should be way higher. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, I'm just going to say this clearly seems to denote an issue, especially with just this first category. The fact that the engineers are such a small category of the overall employees is insane. And that is exactly why you have issue. That's about what, 37 programmers? Yeah, it's a good point. So, I don't know why I can't seem to bring up my calculator there. For some odd reason, my search does not work on that. The fudge? There we go. Okay. So basically, if we have 308 employees, right? Out of that 308, we know 12% of that is basically your actual coders. So there you go, chat. You've got roughly 37, 38 employees around there are your actual coders. Okay, that's honestly not a lot, especially when you start considering that they have to handle multiple projects at a time. So it's like, one person will be working on our deal call. One person will be working on the next event. One person will be working on this campaign that's designed to go in between them. And the coders are doing all of that. So this means that there's only roughly like 35 to 40 coders working at any given time in the company, and they are being required to handle all of this. I'm also going to go out on a limb and say that this number probably also includes the animation department. They may be included in this, but I suspect that they're probably included in this. And that is definitely a concern, because we've heard before that the animation department is one of the departments that's most like under siege. Now, that being said, if you want the biggest indicator of, hey, we've got a problem for Lasengle right here, it's right here. It's this one, chat. Approximately 88% of members are homestyle, aka remote work. We deliver equipment used for work, such as PCs, to employees' homes and provide remote work allowances. We are also implementing various initiatives to ensure smooth business operations, such as introducing communication tools for team building. This is fucking terrible. Now, don't get me wrong. I went through COVID the same as the rest of you. I also understand that people have unique circumstances that cause them to need to be able to remote work from home. The issue for this is that it is verifiably provable that work from home is slower than work in an office. You are more efficient in an office rather than the distractions of home. That's straight up why shit takes so long for this company. I'm just going to tell you right now. It's 100% the reason that, like, they can't seemingly get stuff done on time. at times. So it is what it is. I think that's one of the reasons as well that they didn't want to promise stuff like Ordeal Call 2 until they actually knew it was ready. Because that's what they've been starting to do now, chat. Instead of giving you a date and hitting that date, they've started to just be like, it's ready when it's ready. And we've seen this like now over the past years, they've really been like preaching that mantra. So I'm not going to say like everyone that works from home is some lazy ass. I know that's not the case, okay? But yeah, there is an actual notable drop in efficiency, just naturally due to the rigors of working from home, as opposed to actually being in the office and having access to people freely and easily, having access to supplies freely and easily, and having access to the files that you maybe need freely and easily. So can you still do decent work from home? Yes. That is why we still actually get stuff produced in the game. But 100%, as someone in chat said, this is really progressive. The majority of companies now are returning their workers to work. This makes Lasengle on the like outlier side of things. There's a reason a lot of these companies are returning people to work. One, it gives them better oversight of the actual employee to make sure that they are doing their job. Two, it actually allows them to facilitate work in an easier way. It also cuts down on the amount of overhead that they have to do for maintaining a remote environment. So yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all that this is the way that it is. They've said it before. And I'm going to say this. This unfortunately may be the reality of working in Japan for them right now, especially with maybe their line of work. That is to say, as they find that they need to be hiring more and more employees, it might be difficult in a post-COVID type of situation here for them to actually get people that want to move to their location for the job. As a result, if they don't want to lose the employee, they have to allow them to work remotely. And that has been one of the big things that we have seen over the year here that we've been really monitoring Lasengle's recruitment. They have on their website constantly and in several of the interviews that they've given talked about how willing they are to let you remote work and work from home. I think that's why. I think it's because they realize that if they don't advertise that, they're not getting the employee. So I think it's just this is the situation in the environment in Japan at the moment, or possibly even for them. Because again, we have heard they have a bad reputation. That's where the, hey, is this a black company? Question even comes from. So it's actually been proven, Prophet. I'd have to go find the studies for you, but it actually has been proven. And I want you guys to think about this. In what way do you think it's faster to work in a remote environment than in the office? Don't get me wrong. Like, do you not get like constantly like badgered by somebody in the office? Maybe not. But do realize that if you're getting badgered by that person in the office, it's probably because they needed something. And if they're not badgering you, that means they're less efficient. So there is always a trade-off. Always. Also depends on the actual job. Yeah. I got studies that disagree. Okay, cool. We'll compare studies. I actually don't care about it. This is something I firmly believe. And I have seen time and time again. Okay? I have seen people slack off when they work from home. I know it is a thing. And I know people will straight up deny it. And I'm not trying to call it out and say that everybody that works from home is a slacker. But when you start dealing in the hundreds of employees, fuck yes, it happens. Absolutely. I think being in the location that you work makes you work. I do agree with that. Actually, I think people are less productive in the office. There's definitely like distractions in the office as well. Okay? Don't get me wrong. There is an issue at play there. But then we definitely have to ask ourselves why those things are happening too. If you can slack off, why wouldn't you? I mean, I guess it depends on your integrity, but personally, I can't afford living in the city for a computer science job. Where I'm at in the city, there are no joke $1 million. Yeah, no, like chat again. I think people are taking offense to this because some of y'all work from home and do remote work. This is not a judgment of any of you, and I want to be clear on that. Okay. Part of the reason that I'm making this statement is because they now have to actually go out and do the work to facilitate allowing these people to work from home. You can literally see as they say that they have to actually distribute stuff to the employees' houses in order to do it and provide remote work allowances. That is extra shit they have to do. That is directly impacting their efficiency. So, like I said, I just think it is the case. In-class teaching versus remote clearly shows that in-class has better grades, etc. Yeah, I think you do pay more attention. That's what the logistic department is for. Probably. In all seriousness, you're probably not wrong. This is probably why this number is so high at this point. I've worked from home before and I've slacked off a bit, so it's definitely possible. Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to say how dare any of you work from home. This is not a judgment against you. It is just a simple statement that when you're dealing with this number of people, it's going to happen. You're going to have issues. Is that saying 88% are remote working? Yes. So then for the next section here, it says, our company has introduced a 2-day work week system. This is a Google Translate issue. It is not a 2-day work week. I heard Trubs talk about it. Apparently, it's they get 2 days off, which is uncommon in Japan. Okay, so that's actually a good thing. Okay, it's not a 2-day work week. They get 2 days off. In Japan, a lot of the times they work 6-day work weeks. So they actually get 2 days off instead. So they only work a 5-day work week. Again, I heard Trubs talking about it, but I'm glad I did manage to catch that portion of his stream. In addition to annual paid leave, we also offer special leave systems to provide input for game creation and to help you achieve a work-life balance, such as refresh leave that can be taken at any time and anniversary leave that can be taken on special days for you. It's fulfilling. This sounds good, but from the employer's perspective, this could definitely cause issues with deadlines. It's very difficult to have any kind of deadline and also allow people to take off whenever they want. I can tell you the way my office does it. I don't know if this is how they would handle it, right? It's personal and vacation. Yeah. So it's in my office, we basically have a bunch of time that we can take off, but we're only allowed to take it at certain points of the year. That is to say, I cannot take it during the major deadlines because that would naturally cause logistics issues in the office. If while everybody is trying their damnedest to get something done, I just go, fuck it, this is the most stressful time of year. I'm going to go on vacation. Yeah, everyone's going to hate me, right? So it's I kind of get it. Do you get your birthday off? I never get my birthday off. It sucks. I think I say that. I think I actually got my birthday off once. It was either last year or the year before. I don't remember. But I believe we got a hurricane extension. And because we got the extension, everything wasn't due that next day. So I actually got to take the day off. But that was the first time I've ever had it happen. You could also be fired for that. Right. And so, like I said, this is concerning maybe, but the fact that the state can be taken at any time, I don't know about that. But hey, I guess if they manage to do it, right? But like I said, I don't know. To me, there's definitely some clear signs that there could be some issues behind the scenes in Lasengle. And while chat, you may want to believe in them, you may want to not doubt these numbers and be oh no Cad, what are you talking about? Everything's hunky-dory. I think the game speaks for itself at this point, like with its content pacing getting slower and slower and slower. We definitely have issues. Like, I don't think that's a deniable thing at this point. So to me, looking at these numbers, I can see areas that I think are cause for alarm. Areas that are like, hey, yeah, you need to work on that. That maybe is causing problems. And we'll see. We'll never know because, again, they'd have to tell us. I'm surprised they even told us these numbers. But it is an interesting thing, to say the least. There's also jobs that are all year round busy. Yeah, and honestly, this is probably one of them. Like, to a degree, like, that's where maybe they really try to advocate take it at any time, is because, like, God, it's a live service video game, chat. When is it not busy? There is always another deadline. There is always something else that has to get done. So, yeah. But I think the problem is, like, what happens if you're like the lead animator and there's only like 2 other animators in the department and you take off? Whoo! That's not gonna fly. They're changing things without much concept of how to change as well, and they're only speculating more than half this shit. Yeah, I mean, I know, like, one of the issues that me and Trubs have talked about from various interviews and stuff is the fact that it seems like a lot of the old timers, the veterans that are here, don't necessarily, like, actually have that real amount of veterancy. They're not quite sure what they're doing, or they're just very set in their ways, and they're unwilling to, like, do the things that they actually need to succeed. We see this actually all the time. Like, I can speak to it in, like, our office where if you ever, like, have to switch programs to a new program after people have been using that program for years, people don't want to use the new program. People gripe about it, they bitch, they moan, and they don't want to do it. And the reason they don't want to do it is because they're so used to the old one and they don't like change. But in the end, it may actually be better that you do switch to the new product. There's probably a reason to make the switch. And so I think it's kind of the same thing here where, like, yeah, maybe the old guard doesn't really want to, like, change things or do anything different, but it may be that this game needs to evolve. It needs to change in some ways. Most certainly treating their employees poorly. I mean, it's easy to look at stuff like the studio tour. It's easy to look at their recruitment interviews. It's easy to look at stuff like this where they're talking about, like, hey, here's all the time you can have off and stuff, and be like, oh, yeah, no, everything's great. Everything's awesome. Chat, this is all propaganda by the company. They want you to think that they're good, right? Like, you will never hear a company lie more than during an interview with the company. Whenever you sit down to interview for a job and you're like, it's like, how bad are the hours? Oh, they're fine. They're never going to tell you, oh, the hours are shit, man. Like, God, get out now while you can. Like that's the whole reason they're sitting down in an interview with you. They're not going to tell you the truth. If you're lucky, they'll be like, hey, you know, not going to sugarcoat it. It's a lot of work, right? Like, that would be lucky. Most of them are not going to do that. It's like, oh, will I have opportunities for promotion? Sure. Will I get paid above the industry standard? Oh, yeah, totally. Like, companies do be lying, chat. Probably some combination along with the whole situation is insane. Yeah, I think being a game developer for a live service game is just like being in the same pressure cooker to a degree that, like, games go through like 3 months out from their release and just never getting out of it. Like you're always in that pressure cooker. You never actually get release. If you're teaching for the money, get out now. Oh yeah, I think if you're teaching for the money, you better be like at a collegiate level. Like I don't see it like really like you should be teaching because you want to like teach the next generation and you want to like carry on the knowledge that you yourself and your generation have learned. It should be about like inspiring the youth and teaching them, right? But yeah, I think that's the unfortunate nature of things is people do get into certain professions for the wrong reason. Can? Yes. There we go. Oh, chat. Hold on, because I haven't touched this in a hot second. Let me go switch the capture card. I'm getting out now? Oh no. Okay. Let me make sure this is operating appropriately because I don't see any signal from the El Gato. Yeah, I mean, weren't all the leaks for Genshin Impact happening during their remote work times as well? I don't know how bad the leaks are nowadays for them. But I know like it was rumored that basically people had access to their entire like remote work like patchwork and stuff, that every single time they had to distribute it for people had access to it. Nothing changed. People are still in there getting it. Wasn't that game just released during that time in general? It was released like 7 or 8 months prior to COVID, I think. Like, wasn't it 2019 was when Genshin came out? Second chat, it's still... Oh, that's why. I plugged... That might be... There it is. Was it 2020? Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't realize that. And give me one more second here and we got it. Plan to farm about 600 boxes during the lotto. This is more from personal experience. But how many boxes per section would you recommend farming? So that way you could also keep your sanity in the process. Probably 200 each, right? Like dividing it up. It really depends. The actual like efficiency of the boxes doesn't change that much. So like I would like the biggest factor is going to be how many drops you have. So like usually I like to go hard early on in a lotto because you do hit levels of burnout. Plus it's a lot easier to play with a lead. So like I usually like to like get an early lead and then kind of go. But definitely you can structure it depending on like what materials you need. If you look at like the nodes and what they drop, you may decide like, ooh, I really want to farm this on like the 3rd round or something like that. But okay. We're going to be continuing here. Who's that nerd with the black hair? Who, me? People found a new jump drive with everything on it. Yeah, like that's just wild to me that people even can, right? What was I doing in here? I think we just like got done with a really long cutscene. You're back and calm. Oh no, maybe I just teleported here to heal. Right, because we had done a bunch of the open world shit. And I think we've done it all on this, like, western portion, and now we just need, like, whatever the heck this is. Let's get on them chocobos. You know the one standing with Cloud? Oh, god damn it. I keep forgetting and hitting the R1 button, which is the dismount.
It's on you. It's on you.
Did...
You're up. Might deal with that. Okay, let's go.
Oh my god. Wait, what is it? Is it? Yeah, there we go. L1 for that instead of L2.
Never in doubt.
Yep. Tagawa Live, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Did they keep the sandworm? What, in Dune? Am I leveling too quick? I think I started 2 weeks, 24th ago, and I'm already account level 72. No, you're fine. That's actually pretty normal, I would say. You level a lot, like, really early, and it's just a thing. Like, you're gonna end up with, like, way too much AP early on and stuff. Thankfully, you should have ways to, like, spend it pretty effectively compared to how it used to be. Oh, wait, I forgot. I don't have to God. Playing other games here is messing with me because I keep hitting the dismount button. Actually, whose weapons did I still need to unlock here? We gotta get Cloud's Firebolt Blade, I think. Or do I? We gotta do Aerith's. And just Aerith's. So let's change the party. Not under party, it's under combat settings, because God knows why. Let's do Tifa and Aerith. I haven't done this particular combination yet. They just need to keep heading south. Hey, area of interest.
Hey, Cloud! It seems that a transmitter chip is buried nearby. You should be able to sniff it out with the aid of a chocobo. Once you pinpoint its location, you can ask your bird to dig it up. With that, let the treasure hunt begin.
IMO, this is way better than 15. I think it is too. But I think, like, and I said this before, that basically 7 Remake is like what would happen if you know, like, basically I don't think you would have gotten 7 Remake if you hadn't had 15 first, like, because it's just all an improvement upon 15. Okay, it actually goes through the wall. Nope, it's literally right at the wall. What the hell is this? Am I still in the grasslands? Yeah. Cat, am I like not understanding something? Oh, okay. I don't know why it like refused to give me that. Follow the sniff? No. I know that. Like, I've done this numerous times. It didn't like continue the trail, and that's why I was so confused. Yeah, it looks like it just like dead stops if it intersects with something.
That's quite the transmuter chip you found. In fact, it was once used in the construction of windmills. Given
They only
its
increase
rarity,
base,
I would
Sam.
not be surprised if someone had need of such technology.
15 was the test drive. Yeah, it's the meme of like, you know, 15 walked so that 7 Remake could run. And I think 7 Remake would be a much worse game if you didn't have 15. I'm literally right on it. I'm sure some of the people at Square are bright and playing it that way. This game fixes most of my 15 gripes. No, it doesn't for me, because my biggest gripe with 15 is the story is utter dog trash. But the reason that it is because they hacked up the story, right? Like, 15 did have a lot of gameplay issues, though, and I do agree with you in that. Like, this game solves all of them, pretty much. I think, like, I still have some complaints about this game's system, but compared to 15, it's like night and day. It is just a wholly better system than the other one. What is that? Phenomenon Intel. Chad, is that gonna kick my butt? Have you played the Royal Edition? It does a lot for the story. No, I refuse. And hear me out on this, chat. Like, I refuse to watch a movie. I refuse to play DLC in order to understand the base story. If I can't understand the base story from the game itself, you failed. Like, it's not that like it doesn't address it, it's that I shouldn't have to, right? The movie is cool though, that's fine. But like my point still stands, right? That's cheap, but I don't know that I need to buy it. Also, give me that. So it's like, yeah, it's like, even though I might be like, oh, okay, well, the story's a lot more coherent now, I'd still be like, man, 15 sucks. If that makes any sense to you, right? Because my issue are that the initial premise and presentation of the game are piss poor.
Mind help me with something? I'm Oliver, by the way, owner of this farm. Got fiend trouble. Every night it comes after my livestock. At least I assume a fiend's to blame.
Then they want you to play the DLC? Yeah, exactly. JP wonders why the birth rate's declining.
Smart as hell. Managed to evade every trap I've set. Even hired a hunter to get rid
Oh,
of
I do agree with that, Hex. Like, when I worked from home, I was more efficient. I actually straight up was, because also for me, I'm a multitasker, and I have to be like juggling multiple things to do at the same time. So like, for me, like it was more efficient for me to work from home. But yeah, I think your average employee, it's probably more efficient for them to work in the actual office. But I'm also someone that, like, I have a really robust computer setup as well.
Impressive the way that committee's able to connect.
Ventos, thank you for the raid. Welcome everybody. How's it going?
Appreciate it. That your dog there? Mind if I pet him?
What were you guys up to today?
But he might.
We don't have the Road to 7 well, okay. Chat, did we miss? I guess we missed the actual Road to 7 stream because I was talking during it. I didn't even realize.
Might be able to track the fiend's scent.
CBC, CQ. Yeah, I did it myself earlier. It basically just started, I think. Yeah. I may turn it on while I'm at work tomorrow and watch through it, but like, again, I don't think it's anything I need to cover for stream. I think it's just a rehash. If it were actual news, that'd be one thing. It's just the old VOD, yeah. Which, like, I kind of watched bits and pieces of them when they came out on JP, but I didn't watch, like, everything.
So, it's been several days since the attack, so the scent isn't.
You want a spoiler? Is that what is actually hard boss-wise for this game? No.
This won't be easy.
I don't want spoilers at all.
Think a chocobo could handle it?
I've been mighty tempted for the past few months. Oh, you're good. We're just doing some side content right here anyway, so if you want to see how it looks, feel free.
To try, I won't stop you.
So it's really interesting to me because I think 9's gonna get the treatment after 7 here, because like they seemingly have not like tried to remaster 9 or anything like that. Like they've just kind of put it out there and it just exists as is. And we can argue it's like, well, it's kind of like newish still, but it's like, yeah, but they did a total like HD remaster. Search the area with a chocobo. Okay. What area? But yeah, they did a total HD remaster of 10, and it's really weird to me that then as a result they did not like touch 9 really. But I think people would love for it to get a similar treatment. I do think it depends largely on like how you feel about like the changes to the story that they're making in this game. I know one of my buddies apparently already watched the ending and didn't care. Like he's not gonna get the game now. But I don't know. It's like, to me, I don't think they should be changing the story, but I'm also not someone that's gonna get like completely bent out of shape about it. I just think it's stupid if they like do things that were needless. Like in the first game, they faked like they were gonna like kill Baron at one point, and I thought that was dumb. Because it's like, well, we all know you're not. 9 was the first to have nice cinematics. Yeah. I fear for the sweet baby treatment. Like I said, I think that's gonna be in a lot of games, and if you don't like how they've like messed with story or something like that, then just don't get it, right? It should be pretty easy and apparent. You'll always see some content creators, especially with the Final Fantasy series, that are like major fans of whatever the original game was. And so if they changed it and they don't like it, oh, they are gonna talk about it non-stop. Can I not like go over that? Actually, don't know where I'm supposed to be searching, chat. Summon Pico and use him to search for the perpetrator's scent trail. Huh? Guess I'm supposed to go sniff? Okay.
He's got something.
Quack.
Well, I still have a faint impression of the scent.
Breath of fresh air after all the Magitek brooding in 7 and 8. Yeah. Yeah, 9 is a lot more like fantasy setting.
You want to track it from here on out?
I'm partial to 10, but 10's where I started the series. Interestingly enough, 9 is what got me interested in Final Fantasy. 9 was my first exposure to it because I remember being a kid and being over at a friend's house, and we went to Blockbuster and he rented Final Fantasy 9, and we just sat there taking turns playing it, and we stayed up like all night. And like, we didn't beat the game or anything like that, but like, it was interesting enough that when 10 came out, I was like, ooh, I really want to get this. Nine is the Gunblade one, right? No, that's 8. I did see somebody apparently arrested someone with a prop Gunblade the other day thinking it was a weapon. And I was like, oh no. And you could tell clearly too, it's like, there's no way this thing would have actually fired. Like, there was no barrel on it. What are your thoughts on emulation and the Yuzu fiasco? So, emulation, I'm okay with emulation. I think it's a good thing. I think it should be a thing. That being said, I heard a lot of people be like, oh, Nintendo has like no actual, no actual case here. And I'm like, oh no, they actually do kind of have a case. And part of the problem with this is like emulators are not supposed to advocate for piracy, right? They are supposed to basically just, I was gonna say, why could I not do Braver there? They are supposed to like, be like, hey, here's the emulator. Only use ROMs that you yourself own for games that like you yourself have. Don't pirate, right? I remember going to emulation sites back in the day, and they always had like warning messages about that. I don't know in Yuzu's case, but at least from the allegations that that Nintendo was alleging towards Yuzu, it sounded like they had at least they basically came prepared. They had like all of the like website data and Patreon data from them, and could verifiably prove that like it actually cost them a tangible amount of money. So yeah, I think Nintendo was gonna have a at least uphill battle to try and like put a lot of the burden of proof on them, but I do think they actually did have grounds for a case. And it sounds to me like, especially because everything that I heard, that Yuzu, I guess, like settled out of court because apparently they would have gotten cooked in Discovery, where I guess like they had a bunch of like Discord messages and private messages on Patreon and stuff where the developers of Yuzu were actually just passing ROMs around that they had illegally obtained. So it's like, yeah, that's gonna get you in trouble, like straight up. I do find it funny that they cease and desisted though. I do think they probably could have fought Nintendo on that and won, because Nintendo doesn't really have a right to shut them down. But I do think Nintendo did have a decent standpoint of like, hey, you shouldn't be promoting piracy. But that being said, Nintendo doesn't care because all they wanted was the emulator to be shut down. So it's like, I'm not on Nintendo's side in this, just that I think legally Nintendo did have a case. Yuzu were a bunch of idiots with how they conducted themselves. They tried to get too big for their britches, and that's what ultimately cost them. But I am glad it didn't go to trial, because that way we don't get any sort of like really negative precedent for emulators in like the courts and stuff like that. I'm coming.
One more shot.
Oh my god, I actually remembered the correct button to... Oh shit, what is it, Chrono Aegis? I don't remember what this does. No, not throat clamp.
This ends here. All set. Everything's
Okay. Dude, what? That's definitely one of the things I don't really care for in this system is I don't like how side characters are handled. I don't like the fact that no matter who you are playing, you are taunted all the time. And I think that's stupid. I think it disincentivizes you from playing certain characters. And I just don't think it is well handled. Probably one of my chief gripes about the system overall. All right, Phoenix down.
I'm wide awake now.
Don't overdo it.
Let's go. It's on here. Just taking a little break. We've got to get through this.
Dude, what? Alright, bro, what the shit is this? I've barely done any fucking damage to it either. You cannot escape. Oh, fantastic. Dude, this thing's like, its ear-splitting howl is like cluster missiles. Like, what the hell is that ability? All right, let's try and get. Honestly, Cloud's my better character at this point in time. And there we go. I'm just gonna retry this. This is just awful. Hurts for me because Citra got hit being the same group that made use. Oh, really? Unless you know what you're doing or friends share, people copy open source code and put malware in it. Yeah, like don't get me wrong. I think Yuzu could have done things better, but I think at the end of the day, like I'm pro emulator and I don't really want to see like big $1 trillion company win. You can't aggro me if I walk away sultrily on my chocobo. Oh, I'm on Tifa. I was like, why can I not use anything here? I gotta get some data on him. He has no weaknesses. Dealing damage or blocking its attacks will cause it to lose energy. It will become pressure. Okay, let's cure myself. We're gonna cure Cloud. We're gonna have Tifa use Chakra. Dude, game, can you not like chain stagger me like that? Holy crap. I'm just gonna lose. He got so much damage off of that. And I don't really have anything that actually helps me with it. I keep forgetting that she doesn't have that. She's just dead. She didn't even live long. I can't handle this shit, man. I gotta like come back for something like this. This is awful. Like, I'm basically either under-leveled or just like I gotta get like healing materia on other people, because the fact that Cloud's the only one that can heal right now is just awful. Aerith has Prey and Tifa has Chakra, so theoretically that was my most healable comp, and it still got its butt kicked. Akira Toriyama is dead. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Okay, at least now that I know the Fiend is up there. Trying to think, where can I buy materia if there even is a location? Virgin Dragon Quest, yeah. Yeah, that's just... Was that expected though, either, chat? Like, I don't think he was sick, was he? Oh, it's a hootie hoo. Where's the hootie hoo? See, chat, without the yellow markers, we wouldn't have seen to climb here. It's not like there aren't two other indicators, like the holographic symbol on the ground, or the gigantic, annoying, swirling phoenix that constantly runs around and hoots at you. I would have never figured out how to climb here. Oh, there's a lot of stuff. I thought that was like a hold down. I didn't even hold down. I don't think these are failable. I've always hit all of them. Intel relayed to Chadley.
Cloud, that data has revealed an intriguing sight. The nest of the Quetzalcoatl, a rare bird native to these lands. So rare, in fact, that few have ever seen it. This is a prime research opportunity for us.
Cat, we found Ketz. Do you think she'll Ara you? Okay, so that's the only thing I don't like, is like, you find intel and it's in a completely different zone to waste your time. Because like, we were already there and fully completed that area. And I'm like, come on, man. You ain't gotta do me like that. Can I teleport? I can. Is Tifa good at Snoo Snoo? Probably. Wait, am I not able to go in? Okay.
Hey there. You folks buying or selling?
We're here for the Chocobo and Moogle card.
Of course you are. Hate to break it to you, but ain't no way I'm giving up that beaut. At least, not to some dabbler who fancies himself a collector. Unless you more than dabble. Tell you what, you beat me, and that card is all yours.
Why do I get the feeling this guy's gonna be like impossible to beat?
So, you game?
Not officially announced for that date. I see. Oh, you're talking about this? Yeah, I've seen a lot of misinformation as to like when this is coming to PC. So I just don't know. Oh, he's got the Titan card. He's got the fat Chocobo card. Wait, can I not examine what this card does? Oh, I don't like that. Why can you not like see what the effect of the card is? Oh yeah, but it's usually just a case of exclusivity doesn't necessarily mean that it'll be ready to release on PC. I guess I'm just gonna buy everything? Gotta collect them all? Yeah, I guess. Like, I don't mind. I just don't like that I can't see what they do before I purchase them. You now own a card that can lower the power or enfeeble other cards. When a card's power is reduced to 0, it is destroyed, and the position it was occupying becomes empty again. Ooh. There are also cards whose abilities activate only when they are destroyed or enfeebled. Therefore, sometimes it benefits you to use enfeeblement abilities on your own cards rather than your opponents. Part of the fun of Queen's Blood is finding novel ways to win. What? I don't want to destroy my own cards. Okay, so... there's Toxarat. It doesn't have anything. So you can tell at some point, the board expands to 5x5 instead of 3x5, because otherwise I don't get why they basically function this way, unless it's just maybe a case of in case you put it at the edge of the board. But you don't know what you'll receive before rolling? Yes, I do. I literally make my living off of knowing what I'll receive before roll. I mean, I get what you're saying, right? Like that I don't know what I'm going to get in the rolls, but odds are I know what the card does that I'm rolling for, right? Zoo. Fat Chocobo be looking kind of lit. It's also a 5. But low key, that Titan card actually legit. Some of these cards, I wish I could flip them, because they're only useful if you're playing on the opponent's side. At least I think. Was the Grenadier can I not see what their abilities are here before utilizing them? What I really need are cards that are only one pawn, but give a ton of capability. Let's see here. Which ones do I not care for? Honestly, Cactuar is kind of difficult to use. Same thing with Magic Pot, and it's only worth 1 as a 3. I think that's a terrible fucking thing. We'll go with this for now. Oh, whoops, no, not pre-built. Begin match. IMO the crab is really good? Okay. What do I want to mulligan here? I don't want to mulligan Titan, because if I do, I don't think I get him. But I will mulligan those 3. Okay. Of course, he played Chocobo and Moogle. Actually, that card doesn't even look that good. I'm not sure why everyone fights over it. Raises position ranks by 2. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to put this down and then it's going to put something there that's going to take it from me. Yep. Fucking called it. Oh, but that seals me off if I do that. Don't take the middle. Don't take the middle. You ass wipe. Holy shit. I should have taken it from him. God damn. That screwed me. Yeah, nothing I can do there. Oh, I think he just wins. Yeah, he wins. Literally, he can do nothing else and he wins. So, let's restart. Yeah, I got like a bad draw there and he just immediately capitalized on the middle. And I hate like I hate seeing it coming and being like forced to not be able to do anything with it. Ooh, this is a nasty start. Oh. Such a like difficult choice here. So I move into that, then he can swipe. Like, this is why I said, to a weird way, it feels like you're disadvantaged for moving first. Because the opponent gets to react to you, and that is so powerful in some of these circumstances. Man. I don't really want to do that, but it is just a flat +3. It's not like 3 times. Done messed up, Aaron. And now, you not get nothing. So he's sealed unless he has something else he can do there. I probably win the bottom. I definitely win the middle. Ooh, wait, I could play Crystalline Crab. I don't understand why it's not playing its last card. That just seems really odd to me. We're gonna go Alpha Dunk on them. And there you go, we pass. It's like the AI just gave up, but if you give me the opportunity, I will go for total victory. Probably a bricked hand with no level 1s. Yeah, I mean, it can happen, right? But that's what I was saying, like, a lot of the opponents I'm facing have, like, a single pawn piece that, like, it just, like, is worth multiple, and I don't get how. Raise power by 1 for each other enhanced allied card.
You've got some serious skills,
okay, so that's
son.
actually decent.
Joke's on me for thinking otherwise.
Basically, it's a good opening card in the middle.
Here's your card. But next time you go up against me, I'll be bringing my A game.
What's your A game?
Hey, you been working on your deck at all?
Yeah, I've been working on my deck.
Then bust out those cards, boy.
I don't like the way he talks to me. It sounds like a vague form of sexual harassment. Where's the Chocobo and Moogle card? Oh, I don't have it. I have to give it back to him. And I already own it, so there's no point in challenging him to another game. If that's all the reward is, I don't need to keep bullying you.
Okay then. That's it.
Keep it together.
Watch yourself. Here goes. There. Huh? This one's for you.
Hey, so yeah, she's Chrono Aegis.
One more shot.
I'm gonna keep spamming Chrono Aegis.
I dare you. This one's for you. This is for you. Couldn't be around.
Hello, Kirby. How's it going? Did I hear? Yeah, someone in chat said it not too long ago. It was just kind of wild to me because I wasn't expecting that. We're just playing some Final Fantasy VII here. We were doing some dueling. I guess now we gotta deliver the cards. Can I teleport to any of these places? Should be able to teleport. No. There. He always keeps it sleeved for protection. Understandable. Love when I accidentally a word. Yeah. Me too, right? Like, it's always great when you a word.
Hey, where'd my laundry go? Now they really should have gotten.
Do you still believe in the heart and the cards? Listen, I believe in money and brute force.
Has to be in store for me after suffering through that interrogation. Patience
And I believe that eventually one of those two will win out. So if you choose to believe that that is the heart of the cards, go for it. Wait, where's the mini quest? Wait, you're not the guy I needed to deliver it to? Where's the asshole I needed to deliver this to? Is he down? Don't remember. The cat is an Oonga Boonga Mono red aggro player. I don't know. Not usually. I'm normally a strategist, so. What? Okay. Dude, where is this guy? Oh no, he's in the tavern like below, isn't he, chat? I could not remember who I got this quest from.
So let me get this straight.
There he is. I think.
You did it! You got my baby back! To be honest,
Chili baby back ribs.
And considering just how many
Barbecue
I've lost,
sauce.
one this rare is definitely wasted on me. Here, it's probably better off with you. Really? But only until I've gotten good enough to win it back. Whew. That's a weight off my mind.
Why is calm so
Right,
calm?
enough of
You
that.
spelled it wrong.
How about I fix you two your drinks? So, this guy moved here recently from Midgar, left after the Sector 7 tragedy. You know how it is. Anyway, he kept raving about this incredible cocktail served at a famous bar in the Undercity. Seventh Heaven. Don't know if you heard of the joint. They called it the Cosmo Canyon. Pretty, don't you think? Go on, drink up.
So they literally stole the Seventh Heavens, like, iconic drink.
You know, that was just what I needed.
Knew you'd like it. Although apparently, my version pales in comparison to the Undercity original. So much so, the guy flat out refuses to order it again.
Pinch of salt. That'll give it the kick it needs. Trust me.
Why are you sharing your secrets?
Hey, that's pretty clever. Yeah, maybe I'll try that. Wait, don't tell me. You're the one who invented the Cosmo Canyon, aren't you? You're that Seventh Heaven bartender.
Not today, but someday soon. When we do open up a new place, swing by. I'll make you a Cosmo Canyon myself.
Okay, but I'm holding you to that. I'll be there opening night with bells on. Promise.
What does he mean by with bells on? Also, why don't I get to keep that card? I challenge you to a duel for your card.
Close call with that card. Nearly lost it forever.
SMH.
Give me a holler.
There's no reward. I lost the card for nothing. I shouldn't have been a good guy. Okay, let me out of the map there. Actually, I need to see again if I can buy some of the materia. I'm trying to think of... I know Chadley sells materia. I may have to go get it from him, but... Items vendor... Listen, chat, just because Dragon Ball is popular does not mean that people necessarily understand all the people that were involved with Dragon Ball, right? It's the same way, like, how many of you guys can name, like, all the, like, VAs and FGO, or, like, you know, who wrote what part of, like, the story and stuff like that? It's like, it's natural. I'm sure there's plenty of people who don't know who, like, Takeuchi is, for instance.
The rising star of Korn. Don't miss Akira's forthcoming concert.
Wait, where's the other item shop that was here?
I'll never forget that I finally got my hands on the new issue of Miss
It looks like it's, like, behind? No?
When I grow up, I'm gonna be a soldier. I was really...
You're not gonna grow up, kid. Kidding. There's just not gonna be a soldier left when I get done with this place. What Final Fantasy world would you choose to be isekai'd in if you had to choose? Oh, I don't know about that. Almost all of them have, like, some terrible, colossal, like, world-ending crisis that they face. They all get better, though? I mean, that assumes that the protagonist solves the issue, right? Like, what if, like, because you're there, the protagonist does not, in fact, solve it? Chadley, come here. Where are you, Chadley?
I see you've made your way back to Calm. This town's bucolic atmosphere and charming architecture have made it a popular retirement destination for former Shinra employees. And now that I am here, it is not difficult to see why.
I can't believe you used the word bucolic. Fire and ice materia. Autocast. I don't think I need the autocast one. Also, is it just me, or is this like the only combined materia?
If there's anything else I can do for you, please let me
Chat,
know.
does anyone know where I can buy a cure materia? Like, there's got to be someone.
Cacto Arcane's completely sold out?
Oh, back for more?
Oh, Folio level 2 unlocked. Unleash a wind magic attack without expending MP. Strengthen fire materia, okay. Unleash a lightning magic attack without expending MP. I guess the thing that I don't know is, like, is that actually the spell, or is that like a special attack itself? Because it says effect chain attack. I am gonna take the 200 more health though, because I think that's actually just straight up good. Tifa. Yeah, I feel incredibly bad at the combat in this game for some reason. Like, I feel like I'm under-leveled or underpowered. And it may be because, like, I'm trying to explore rather than progressing the story. But I actually, like, don't know, right? Do you get to import remake into Rebirth? It'll check and see if you have save data. If you do, it'll give you certain things, but it's not like none of your shit actually carries over. Temporary 3-charge ATB gauge. I think the other problem with that is, like, you usually ATB at 1 charge. Wind magic attacks. It looks like they're all gonna get that. Give me that max MP. Synergy skill and synergy ability damage. Ice magic. Got Barrett. Like a good eco-terrorist? I don't think so. Definitely gonna take HP up, because like I said, right now I just feel like I'm just getting my butt kicked. Ice attack. HP recovery by 10% when receiving healing. That's definitely nice. Okay, and then red. I think that's actually pretty nice now that I think about it. Red more HP. Level limit increase. Counter spin potency. That's gonna require me to get good at using counter spin. Oh, I'll do it.
Have a good one.
Judging from that,
Okay.
the manager's really into planetology.
So, still cannot find cure materia. Takes a while to get used to the combat. I mean, the combat is pretty samey as it was in the prior game, so it's not necessarily getting used to it, as I just am getting my butt kicked. And that's why, like, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's a me thing. Like, for instance, I don't know if this fiend is like... Yeah, see, it says it's like level 18. Which I have no idea what level I am. I mean, everybody's level 20, so I guess I should be capable of handling that? I don't know. Huh. Actually, I wonder then. That's level 22. We ain't attempting that. Well, then what the heck am I missing on this thing, I guess, then is the next question. Like, why the hell is this thing kicking my butt so hard? Oh, good lord. They're gonna make me run all the way around. Yeah. Dad, have you ever played Triple Triad? Yes. I've ever played it, like... I've played the card game in this, if that's what you're referring to. I've played Triple Triad in Final Fantasy XIV. I own the prestigious title of deck holder. Just gonna keep murdering you. I don't have to actually do much.
Gotcha. It's on now.
do it.
Wait, what?
Fiends roam this place.
Rare Toxarat variant identified. Commencing guidance protocol. The pungent speeds released when threatened is so effective at driving away predators that their population has exploded. This particular variant is extremely dangerous, capable of spitting toxic fluids on its prey before attacking in mass. Such tactics allow them to hunt creatures as large as alphados. Make way! Coming through! In every corner of the fight. You'll understand why they're considered such a menace.
Allow me.
When its elemental weakness will pressure it. Oh boy! Surely I have spells, right?
It's on you.
Blizzardo!
It's your turn.
My turn.
Let's do this.
Brace yourself.
There we go. That was actually like the easiest one of those I've done.
Way to go!
Dad, do you prefer your Talkaholic or your buggy? What do you mean my buggy? So where the hell am I? Oh, okay. I got diverted off of the actual trail. This is the least smooth world to run around that I think I've experienced in an open world game in a while. You just like, you get caught on like everything. Aha. Got my 30 Sancrets login? Nice. You don't need to complete them. You don't need to do the objective. I mean, like, I assume you get more experience for doing said objective. We have one cushion. Only Cloud is somewhat wounded. Chocobo or four-wheel drive? I mean, is there actual, like, vehicles in this game? There is, I didn't know that. I will say I think the Chocobos in older games of Final Fantasy were just flat out cuter. No, from the OG? Good question. I like the original vehicles. I mean, I'd say I'm always more partial to Chocobos. Except in 10. I definitely like the airship more in 10. Yeah, like this mofo has no weakness. And I think that's just wild. Like, it's basically like, bro, just block. I also like how it's just now telling me about these guarding version of synergy skills.
Do it! Come on. Nice. You're up. Let's go.
Okay, so he's just not gonna like actually do anything. I guess you have to get hit while it's doing it.
No holding back.
Did he just miss me? Dude, see, that one ability might be like the most bullshit thing that it does.
Right.
Like, I can't even block it. It just staggers me. That's such a bullshit skill. Bro, come on. Like, you're just spamming that shit. Like, I don't see what the counter is. And when you read the assessment, it's like, oh, he'll tire himself out. Just keep blocking. My team is dead. Like, that's just dumb. I literally just want to like hit the retry. What? Stop giving me the stupid like. Yeah, kill me.
So that's the way it's gonna be, huh?
Kill me.
Okay, to return yet.
I mean, I guess we can try a different party composition with like Barret and Aerith or something. I don't know. Like, part of the problem is it's so difficult to heal with Aerith when she's like not actually got the healing materia on her. Where's the go-to for tanking and support? Yeah, but you shouldn't really need it. right? Like I shouldn't have to like sit here and turtle.
We can't afford to hold back.
Come on.
Yeah, that definitely helps with that. Holy shit. Like, again, I still think that should not be required.
One more shot. That's it. Tagging out.
Suck on this! Gotta love it.
Give me steel skin.
I won't let you go.
God, I got lucky that I did what I did there.
Gotta love it.
Bless them with your love and grace.
Okay, give me the limit break. I actually should have
Don't stop now. The fire coming. The fire coming. Suck on me. Won't be nothing left of you when I'm through.
get fucked. There we go. Yeah.
What? It's my sense of smell. Since my imprisonment in the Shinra building, it hasn't been the same. Before, I wouldn't have had any trouble tracking that scent. Now, though...
Yeah, so it really was. Like, you just had to sit there and just fucking turtle with Barrett.
Is willing to take on an
But
apprentice.
it's kind of funny because Barrett, like, that combination seems incredibly strong. Like almost abusively strong. And I got a roadmap for 2024. Whoa, really? You got a link? Give me that link. Or is it in game? I suspect the reason that they're doing this is because of the requirement for certain events. This is really weird, chat. Your roadmap goes mid-March for Battle in New York. Late March. Wait. Late March for Sea Monster Crisis? Huh? Hold on. That feels like that's too fast. Because I could have sworn there was another Road to 7 campaign in between. Yeah, Battle in New York ended March 30th on JP. You had Advanced Quest Part 3 on the 30th. You had Lost Belt, Road to 7 Lost Belt 2 campaign on the 30th. And you had Sea Monster Crisis on April 6th. So it's like they're getting rid of the dead week. Yeah, that's just wild. Because that means they're basically just going to immediately squeeze it right after the event. Because if we get Tesla Fest on the 15th, JP had it on the 16th, so like that means Tesla Fest ends on the 29th. So when they say late March, it's only on the 30th or the 31st. You have like 2 days wiggle room there. So yeah, that's pretty wild. And then they immediately jump to early June. Which is pretty wild because I assume that at that point they're saving the Learning with Manga collab announcement for something else. But yeah, I suspect then, so this is not a roadmap. They're trying to hype it as a roadmap, but this is more like, hey, big warning, some of these upcoming events require you to actually have later parts of the Lost Belts done. That's it. That's it. And yeah, we did just so like they're gonna pass it off as like, see, we told you, look, we're looking ahead. And it's like you completely skipped certain events that are definitely here, so it's not a roadmap. I like it doesn't actually qualify as a roadmap, which is kind of sad. Barrett tanking is pretty Giga Chad, yeah. Again, it was at the end of June on JP. Yeah, and it's saying early June. I mean, I'm not surprised because of anniversary. And doesn't that pretty much tell us that they're doing the flip-flop Avalon? Like that pretty much gives it away, which is kind of funny. Like, normally we do some guesstimating, but that seems to pretty much just be like, yeah, we're doing it, and we don't have to guesstimate. In that regard, that's good. Like, I don't mind that. I think that's a good thing that they've done. Yeah, I think that's all it is. It's just a heads up that some of the upcoming events require Lost Belt. Sadly, because I wish it were an actual, like, roadmap. I wish they actually gave us a roadmap. That would be so kind of the devs to do, and I think it'd be so smart.
And I bet you were a big help too, weren't you? You'll be singing a different tune when you see what I got for you. Here. Don't worry, I didn't forget you. Changing gears a bit, but I heard Broden's not feeling
Yeah, I do need to work on my gear
if you
here.
swing by Calm again, mind checking on him?
Alright, got a side quest now. Alright, though, chat, that's going to be it for me tonight. We didn't get very far because I keep getting distracted on side content. Rest assured, we'll get out of the grasslands probably tomorrow, I hope. If not by force, then by choice. No. Again, let me see who else on. If I can give some love to anybody. I'm not seeing too much, so we're gonna go ahead and end it here, chat. I will see you guys tomorrow. Again, we're gonna be doing more Final Fantasy, and obviously I'll be talking about the roadmap as well as other stuff. We should be doing Road to 7 content as well tomorrow. So, again, hope you guys have a good one. Have a good evening. Get rested for the weekend, and I will see you guys tomorrow.